Let's see here. Let some people know. Okay. All right. So it's Thursday afternoon. So that means it's time for some Soulherder. I'm Joe. Thanks very much for joining me, everybody. I'm going to be running pretty much the same deck that I ran last week. Last week, I think I made a couple of live changes at the beginning of the stream. I think I had taken out the Venser for a second Sky App. Maybe one other small change. I can't quite recall right now, but maybe it was something in the sideboard. But oh yeah. I think I took out like one of the Ashioks for like an Aven Mind Sensor. It helps mainly against Titan decks, but it's something that we can call for. So in theory, it sort of increases our likelihood of being able to hit and out in those kinds of matchups. Like if we're just running Ashioks, then call doesn't really help, clearly. But if we've got a Mind Sensor, now all of our calls are live to sort of like turn 2 call, turn 3 Mind Sensor, hopefully cripple their Titan a little bit. Hey there, Contra. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully everything looks okay. I've been having some problems with my my web camera. It's so strange the way these the web cameras work. I feel like it should be way more intuitive. It's just like the most annoying thing is if I try to turn off auto exposure, I get like extreme lag on my frame rate for some reason. Like you would think that turning off an auto exposure process would reduce the amount of resources the camera is using, since it's not processing the exposure constantly. But for whatever reason, turning off auto exposure, like if I do this, it'll make it like super blurry. But so I have to keep auto exposure on, which means I'm sort of at the whim of whatever the software wants to do with brightness and darkness and whatnot. So I do have like a new web camera in the mail though, so hopefully things will stabilize as far as the web camera is concerned pretty soon. Yeah, let's beat everybody today. That's the hope. That's the plan. Everything's been feeling good. Honestly, I've seen Mill in the last few days more than they generally show up. And with Guy's Blessing in the sideboard, the matchup has felt sort of like a joke. So hopefully we just see Mill like 5 times. Also, I played against Jun's Shadow recently. That's like a very dominant matchup for us. There's very little they can do. And post-board, I'm going to have all 4 Path to Exiles. I'm going to have 2 more Purges, an extra piece of removal with Winds of Abandon, Auriok Champion, sort of unkillable blocker, Worship, Veil of Summer, Ashiok, just like tons of hate for that matchup. And similarly for all the red-black Shadow Prowess decks that are going around, pretty much all those cards come in as well. And it just feels really good. So I've seen all those decks recently, and as I said, the matchup feels excellent. So not too much I change at this point. I've still got the split of like 3-1 and 3-1 with the forces and the paths. One of the reasons for running 60 cards is I wanted to increase the likelihood of drawing paths and forces because they're very high impact spells. But then Nathan, whose deck list I sort of copied at first with the Ether Vials and the Calls, had 4 Watchers, and part of his rationale for trimming on these powerful spells was that he could dig to find them with Watcher. But as usual, when I've tried running Watcher, I didn't really love having like a huge chunk of my 2-drops come into play tapped. So I've since trimmed on Watcher down to 1, but at the same time, I haven't really felt a lack of these 2 spells. It's on my radar as to whether I want to go back up to 4 and bring them in from the sideboard. In theory, that would open up some sideboard space, but it would also, trim on other important things in the main deck. So, yeah, Contra, it feels kind of stupid. It's just like just a hard reset on the game against Mill. All right, so you guys kind of know what's going on with the deck, so don't need to talk about it too much. It should be over here on Cardboard Live. I think I just uploaded it to refresh the deck. So let's see, Modern League. We're gonna play the Vile deck, and we're gonna do like that. When I streamed Merfolk this Monday, I got to round 5, 2-2, and I got paired against Burn, and the first game seemed to be going pretty well for us. Burn was kind of locked out under their 2 Eidolons. They couldn't really cast spells. The attacks were a little bit weird, but I had Vials out, and it just seemed pretty heavily favored for me. But then my game froze, and I couldn't log back in, and so I got reimbursed for that by Wizards, which is nice, but it's also just a stupid way to end a stream. All right. Opponent just copies and pastes. Hey there, good luck and have fun. Thanks, you too. Let's resize that a little bit. I would like to play first, and I would like to keep this hand. All right. So, yeah, I guess seems good. Let's rearrange these cards a little bit. Opponent probably thinks I'm on blue-white control. They're gonna Thoughtseize me. All right, well, it's a black-green shadow deck, I guess. They're checking out my top deck. They don't have Lurrus as a companion. Now, if this is just straight-up black-green rock, I found that matchup to be pretty tricky. Like, they main deck Lurruses, and then they have Dark Confidants, and lots of ways of generating just tons of value. So I actually kind of hope it's Jun's Shadow. That would be the sort of the best matchup, I think, that they're sort of representing as a possibility here. All right, so we just want to keep drawing good early game stuff, Snakes, Eternal Witnesses, not more lands. I think 4 lands, and we're sort of totally happy at this point. So I think I'll probably just go fetch, basically, on the opponent's turn. Just get a basic forest, I think. That's tricky with the double white. With Skyap, I have wanted to have lots and lots of white mana. So I don't even know. Like, Death Touch seems relevant here. I could just, well, Spire of Industry. Well, I do want to get this down. So this is some kind of Lantern deck, I guess, with Spire of Industry. Round 1, sometimes you get paired against some freaky stuff. I don't think, given what I'm seeing, I'm feeling like there might just be like ensnaring bridges and stuff and not a lot of pressure. So I think I can go ahead and get like more white, basically. And, I mean, guess I do still want to draw gas, even though they can take it away. Oh, that's a good one. Hey, Paintball, welcome to the stream. Opponent takes the call. And, okay, so it is a Lantern deck. You guys like how my knowledge of the format. Last stream with Merfolk, I knew that I was playing against Tron because they were mulliganing. And here, I knew that I was playing against Lantern because they played Blooming Marsh into Spire of Industry. So I'm drawing a basic Plains, which is freaking terrible. They have an Assassin's Trophy here. I kind of want to draw that call. I also want to sort of stop drawing lands, so I feel like, again, I can sort of continue to hit my life total and just fetch. Yeah, well, we've got Sky Apps, 2 Sky Apps in the deck. So, I think I'll just attack here. And then maybe just Ephemerate on my main phase. Just hold up the second Coatl, I guess. Too many little windows here. It's kind of nasty looking. Okay, another call. Interesting. I'll just leave that on the top of the deck, see if the opponent wants to. I mean, Lantern itself doesn't mill unless they actually sacrifice it. Then it just shuffles away the top card. So, okay, just pass to the opponent. I am going to have to shuffle that away, though, since I've got the fetch here. All right, they just drew an Assassin's Trophy, we know. Here's another Lantern, so they get to extra see the top card. Okay, so a Deputy might be nice. So I'm just going to call for Deputy, I guess, here. Oh, but they can sacrifice the one that I target. They have Trophy too. Yeah, I was thinking if they had removal, they can just sacrifice one of the lanterns. So that's a bad call. I feel like maybe just getting Uro and just like jamming value out of the graveyard seems good. Can they don't really hit my graveyard, do they? I mean, if anything, they're trying to mill me, right? So I'm going to get the other Hallowed Fountain. All right, so they've got the trophy, and so I think that just the recurring threat of Uro seems pretty good. Don't want to misclick here. Everything looks extra tiny today for some reason. Jesus Christ, get out of here. I mean, Teferi is a good card, but it's not super duper amazing here. Uro will let me put in 2 lands, which will let me cast the... I'd rather not hit more lands, and I don't care too much about the Skyclave right now. So I guess I'll go get more lands. Kind of like Vile, actually. More than the Ice Fang. I mean, this game's probably going to take a few more turns. All right, well, Surgicling Uro, that gets exactly 1 card out of my deck, so not the end of the world. I really hate this deck, though. It's super boring. So we knew they drew that Academy Ruins. Path to Exile is pretty bad. So it's time to start attacking a little bit. We know they have, I think, an Assassin's Trophy in hand, right? So, since they have the trophy, I feel inclined just to tick Teferi. If he resolves, I'll go to combat, and maybe I'll just bounce this Coatl back to my hand. I do want to get value out of Teferi before he just gets like Assassin's Trophied. Okay, so we've got many snakes, and I'll pass the turn. The opponent's still with the Assassin's Trophy in hand. Yeah, I kind of called it. Assassin's Trophy's going to shuffle my library, which is nice. Got green, 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 blue, 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 white, 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 white. Doesn't really matter too much. Actually, if I get green here, I can cast 2 snakes, right? Which is pretty cool. Man, my top decks have been a little bit annoying. All right, so no more Uro in the deck. We've got to get some creatures out with like 2 power. There we go. That's 1. Is the opponent gonna crack one of these lanterns to get rid of this Eternal Witness? Seems reasonable, right? Okay, they're gonna shuffle my library and I get a Misty Rainforest. So, oh my god, these lands. No, maybe I keep my fetch lands on the battlefield as like ways to fight against like redraws, basically. Like if does that make sense? Like I can shuffle. I had Ether Vial all the way over here that I could have used. Thassa's a pretty good one. Let's see if the opponent will fight over this one. Let me use Vial. I keep forgetting about Vial. All 4 snakes here. Not bad. The opponent let me draw Thassa. That's pretty sick. She's actually going to be alive. Well, it's going to be alive shortly, right? I think it's 6, and I've only got 5 so far. Yeah, I'll probably shuffle that away, I guess. And then I get the redraw with Thassa. Oh, she is alive. I guess it's 5, right? Devotion 5. I don't even know what my cards do. It's Devotion 5, I guess. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and shuffle that dude away. Can't cast that right now, but it's not terrible. Soulherder on top. Well, there was an ensnaring bridge right on the top, so I think they're putting it into their hand. We do have ways to deal with that, of course. They can fight over our ways to deal with it, which is annoying, of course. But Soulherder, I'm going to get a bunch of redraws with Thassas and Soulherders, so... Opponent just conceded the game. What? I guess what is the line here? If they crack this lantern, I shuffle. I have Soulherder, but that doesn't do it for me. I have to get rid of their ensnaring bridge. So I'm not complaining. But the game was not over, was it? I don't know, guys. I'm not going to waste my sideboarding time. Night of Autumn, get in here. Do they want to search? Do I want to hit with Ashiok? Get rid of their stuff that they can recur with the Academy Ruins. Force is awesome. I think Veil is awesome. They've got the Hand Disruption. Ceremonious is pretty good. Get rid of the Path to Exiles. All the calls are nice. Very nice. Do they? I guess they play Whir. Even though... No, Whir is for the blue versions, right? This deck has no blue in it. I think. Well, maybe they have some blue because they... I don't know. It doesn't look like a Whir deck. And Academy Ruins, I'm not sure if like sideboard tech is essential just for Academy Ruins, but we can think about it. Stonehorn can come out pretty easily. Oh yeah, the mill WinCon is legit. I like that. A flash creature, pretty good if they're searching. Maybe we bring in Aven Mind Sensor. Just like a, I don't know, flying body. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's not necessary. Deputy seems good. All this stuff seems good. They have surgicals. Got to trim some stuff real quick. I like everything here. Maybe I don't need Mind Sensor. Maybe Uro's not necessary since it's just like life gain basically, and they're not hitting our life total. It is a big attacker, but we don't necessarily need big attackers. We're on the draw, so I could theoretically trim a land. I'll just trim one Ashiok. I feel like it's not that clutch. All right, so you really want a good opening hand against Lantern, because past turn one they can just, well, this is pretty good. I'm going to keep this. Turn one Ether Vial is pretty slick, unless they take it out of our hand. But then we do have two calls to, like, you know, search for stuff to blow up their stuff, like Sky Apps, basically. Might take the Ether Vial. They might take the Teferi as a way to answer Ensnaring Bridge. They took one of the two calls. Super weird. Man, we need to get rid of... Well, use some of these fetch lands. So I will be ticking down Teferi at every opportunity. If I can get rid of that, then they lose this land. I have to kill two things now, so that's not really reasonable. Deputy is a nice card. We are going to want to call here. We've got the green. We need the white. I guess I'll just go get like a Hallowed Fountain, and then I will call for Sky App and start blowing stuff up. What is this thing's ultimate? I mean, this is totally fine. Just gonna blow that thing up straight away. Night of Autumn seems better. Although they could start using Academy Ruins, but potentially not the end of the world. They are looking at my top deck. Fair enough. I mean, witness is a nice idea as well. Opponent on 1 card with no lantern at this point. Drop to 3 since they had a bauble. So now I'm going to deputy that on my turn so that they don't get this things. This needs them to have 3 artifacts. They pay 4 and sacrifice this to find an artifact. Okay, well, that's a nice draw. You can play Teferi and hold up Ceremonious. Maybe I just want to bounce the knight to my hand. Yeah, you guys are on the same page as me. Okay, opponent's just scooping. I mean, I don't know that I've played against a lantern player who's not in it for the grind, you know? Like this guy seems like he's just like, okay, look, I don't want to deal with this. Like I'm on to the next match, you know? But yeah. Nice stuff. We had in addition to the knight, we had an ephemerate coming, and then Thassa just to sort of keep triggering Knight of Autumn. All right. Well, very happy that went like it did because it can go other ways. I think that matchup. Definitely appreciate that the opponent scooped in game 1 because I don't think we're winning game 1 necessarily. Paintball, are you talking about the playmat with Soulherder driving the bus? Because I may have seen that, yes. While I'm waiting for this, I'm going to fill up my water. Okay. Join the match. Opponent hasn't joined the match yet, which is weird. I'm whatever. Okay, so let's try again. M Hayashi back with the clear lead in the league on the trophy table. He was tied at 12 with this guy E Principe. So on Noobsy Pie, I like your highlighted message. Very stylish. Yeah, paintball. The best would be like a 3/4 view. So the bus is like coming at an angle, and everybody's hanging out the window like this, and including Soulherder, like giving a thumbs up or something. All right, so we lost the die roll, but we've got opponents keeping 7, and we're keeping 7. Oh, show. Tron, no. All right, now we just want to draw forces, I guess. Man. I hate Tron. Tron keeping 7 too, which is pretty dirty. Like I don't like our chances of beating Tron with them keeping 7. Oh, revenge. Turn 3 Tron, here it comes. I guess we can call for a deputy if Tron doesn't just blow up all of our lands. Karn. I'd love to play this Oracle, but I can just vial it in next turn. Call, I mean, yeah, calling for Deputy takes away whatever payoff they have, but if they have 2 payoffs, I'm just screwed anyway. I've got the Eternal Witness to start buying back Call if we get enough time. But with no forces in hand, I'm pretty sure the play is just to call for Deputy, and I don't think I would hate drawing more lands here. Actually, I think I'll just go get a Hallowed Fountain. All right, and we'll just wait. So 7 mana on turn 3. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just the way that, Magic should happen, I think. It's like turn 1, 1 mana, turn 2, 2 mana, turn 3, 7 mana. Just makes sense. Oh, it's Blue Tron. Ah. Blue Tron is even worse because they run Sundering Titan. So, and Sundering Titan, you can't even do anything about it. I can't counter it. So before they have counter magic online, I have to cast my call now. Bluetron is the worst. Maybe I just get Soulherder and go to Value Town. I've gotten Eternal Witness already. I mean, against this deck, we're really looking out for like ballistas and things like that, but I still have like the 3 paths in the deck. Deputy doesn't do very much like by itself. Really. So I've got the Witness to buy back the call to get something else later. So I think maybe just Soulherder is fine. They seem to be short on blue mana, maybe. So maybe Skyclave and just blow up their Talisman seems okay. And basically just play through Ether Vial and not get anything countered. Yeah, but my life total's not super high, so it could just go out. I think I might just get Skyclave. Like, I can cast Uro next turn if they want to counter it. That's fine. It goes to the graveyard. All right, so they've got 6 more mana. Thought Not. Well, there's nothing I could do about this, so... Thought Not's going to exile my Skyclave, which is pretty disgusting. They are sort of tapped out here, so can Witness later at some point for the callback. I do have 2 Skyclaves. So yeah, this is Blue Tron. They took the Skyclave. Makes sense. They've still got 2 mana here. Is this just a ballista now? Walking. All right, so approaching the nuts. Turn 3 Thought Knot and Walking Ballista. Could be worse. So now they're untapping with 8 mana. I think I'll start just by doing this. Maybe I'll just force their hand on the ephemerate. If they wanna pop the ballista right now, that's fine with me. But at least I'll get a card out of it here. Yeah. So as I said, we still have 3 paths in the deck. Got a bunch of card draw coming. Opponent on 8 mana. Now they've got 9 mana. Okay, just pumping this guy up for now. Seems reasonable. I do not have Death Touch. They're getting in with both of these guys. Just vial this in, see if I can get this guy to blink. Could double block this, but then they just pump it again. So double blocking doesn't really do anything. This draws me a card. I can stack stuff so that with Ephemerate on the stack, I can vial in Witness. All right, am I going to be able to take Vial up to 3 before Ephemerate gets cast? I just need to click on things very, very accurately. I want to put Ephemerate on the rebound on the stack first. This guy can kill anything that I put in, though, so maybe I try to put in Uro, actually, and just like Ephemerate Uro. Just gonna stack like that. I can't Ephemerate Uro. I think I can Ephemerate Uro. Oh, well, let's see. Yeah, it's not going to be on the stack. You're right, exactly. So I can put in the Eternal Witness, but then he's going to pop whatever I put in, but then I can call for something nice. I'll just put in Eternal Witness, target Eternal Witness. I don't know, guys. Like, this is just like pretty difficult here. I think call is probably the best, though I'm getting pretty close to just dying. If they untap, they can pump this guy twice. So I need to draw a land right here. No, you're right. He would be dead. He would be off the battlefield before Ephemerate comes back. So we need to draw a land here, I think. And it needs to be a white land. So I'm going to try to Ephemerate Eternal Witness. Okay, that makes sense. Figured that would happen. Yeah, I'm going to call for Sky App. Oh, but this I'm not just dead yet now that he ticked down. Okay, well, there's a white land. That's pretty good for us. Does get to kill another one of my creatures. All right, well, things not looking great. He just plays Sundering Titan right now. Seems pretty good. Seems fairly poor. Like, why dismember there? I'm not blocking. Well, chump. I mean, yes, but... So I think I just cast Uro. If they want to counter it, they can counter it. And do they know? I don't think they know my hand, right? If I cast Uro, then I can cast, well, Violin, Eternal Witness, get back Skyclave. If they want to counter it, they can counter it. I could escape Uro, I know, but they're representing counters pretty hard, and I guess gaining life is a thing, so I could escape, let them counter it, but I'll still draw the first card. So if I cast Uro and they counter it, assuming they only have one counter in hand, that means I could then Violin, Eternal Witness, get back Skyap, cast Skyap. Kill the Thought Knot. Otherwise, I'm just Viling in Uro, definitely gaining 3 life, definitely drawing a card. I think I'll do that. I think I'm going to Vial in Uro. I could draw a 2-drop that would provide a chump block. I'm going to gain 3 life off of the Uro. If they like Vendilion click me now, that would be fun. Oh my god, they cycled Nimble Obstructionist. Okay. Now I guess I get to... so they're representing that they have a counter as well, right? So, I think, I'd rather Eternal Witness and then cast Skyap. And if they counter anything, I'm just losing, right? So... So now they have like Condescend and I can't cast anything. Remand. This guy's hand this game has been completely absurd. All right, well, I'm conceding. They had turn 2, what was it? Turn 2 Thought Knot plus Ballista? No, not turn 2, turn 3. All right, it's literally our hardest matchup. So let's not get too wrapped up in things. They do search, I think with Sanctum of Ugin, I think, and maybe Expedition Map. So maybe Ashiok is good. But mostly they're just digging, I think. They use like Thirst for Knowledge. Ceremonious seems good. I'm going to... Nah, Worship's not good. I just had an empty board, right? You need creatures for Worship. I think Mind Center is good enough. Like, having sort of a little bit of protection against them searching their deck, plus I'll just bring in that extra Force of Negation. Stonehorn, not necessary. I do like Uro. We don't really need to search necessarily. Like, we don't need to call too much here. Like, all of our creatures are pretty good. Maybe I can trim like 2 calls. Plus, we get like a lot of time in the matchup. Watcher is awesome. I could probably trim 1 path. Teferi is something that actually pivots the matchup towards sort of evenish. But again, this sort of mirror breaker is Sundering Titan, which is just literally unbeatable. Vial is excellent in the matchup, plays around counter spells, but the opponent just completely wrecked me. I got like turned forward by Blutron. Thassa's a nice endgame plan, I think, so I'm going to leave Thassa in. Maybe I can just trim one snake. I like having two paths, like having answers to some kind of answer to Walking Ballista, just like an instant spell that's not. I have a bunch of ways actually between Knight and. I think I got to keep this, even though I don't have Ether Vial and I really, really want Ether Vial. Opponent mull to 6, and since I don't really want to draw too many lands up front here, I think I'll just play this and then just get green-white and Canopy Vista. All right, well, I cut a snake, and we're just drawing like Snake City here. All right, well, there's one of our two paths. When you cut back on cards like that, you do want to draw your first copy typically. So I think I'm just going to hold up Ice Fang and Ephemerate. Not let the opponent use their... I mean, they could have Condescend for one here or something, but it's more likely Remand. Seems like they're F6'd, so I'm just going to go for the Ephemerate here, but they might not. They're probably not F6'd. It doesn't really matter. Either way, like if they're going to counter something, if they have Condescend, I can still pay for it. All right, that was a decent one. So now I do want to get more green-white and go for the snake. If they have the Condescend, they can tap out for it, I guess. Or the Remand. Can't do it. All right, so they're scrying too. I'll let you guys know what they do with their scry. They went bottom. Seems good for us. So some forces would be nice at some point. Oh, Teferi, I love it. All right, so since I do want to thin the deck, I guess I would just play the Windswept Heath. The intention of getting a Hallowed Fountain. What did the opponent see there? They saw the Teferi, so maybe they have a force. It'd be kind of good for them. They know I have the Sky App. They know I have the Path. Teferi's on the board. And since they have like Ballista that could kill Teferi, I sort of feel like ticking him up is the correct play. But if they cast Ballista next turn for whatever, I could path that kill the Teferi. I don't have a way to get it back right now. I do like drawing cards in this spot. But they're probably just going to untap. You know what? I want to draw a card here because if they go for like Ugin, I think a force is like pretty clutch. So let me return my Oracle to my hand. Okay, well, a call is something. So stacked hand. So we've been hitting our land drops. Let's see if the opponent has... No, they do not have Natural Tron. I'm going to Thought Knot or path this thing in response. They can exile Uro, which seems pretty good for them. So another extra card. Hopefully it's a good one. Well, with this hand, lands aren't the worst, I guess. If I were the opponent, I don't know their hand, but it seems like Uro would be a good card to take. Just getting rid of that thing now really, really want to draw Force. Or like an Eternal Witness. They took the Uro. Okay, so let's start by ticking Teferi up. Now, what would the best call target be? I guess Eternal Witness here, right? To get the value loop going. So I can try to ramp with some Coiling Oracles here. Hey, Slept. How's it going? Let's start by casting an Oracle. Do have to hustle a little bit, taking my time on these plays. Okay. So basic forest means I can call like this, and then basic island. Okay, basic forest. Oh no, hang on. Basic island doesn't. Hang on. So I need to call here snake with the basic island, I think. Let me get my island now. Thin the deck at this point. Watcher is a tempting one, but I do think I want to call for some good stuff, so I think I have to pass here. Ugh, they just drew the piece, I guess. Counter target spell. They're returning this to my hand. What are they choosing? Oh, just returning it to my hand? And they're going to draw a card, I guess? Okay. But they played a land, so now they can't counter Teferi when I play it again? So the plan here was to get Eternal Witness, right? Yeah, it seems quite desperate. I think for now I can just take up because I've been drawing good stuff. And, I mean, I guess Ephemerate is necessary here. If they play like a big-ass Walking Ballista, it's kind of obnoxious. But we can still, since we have Teferi, even with Ballista on, let's see. We're appealing Teferi, and now they have mana up. So I sort of feel like going for... Well, I'll Ephemerate on their turn. See if they counter it, I guess. So this is going back to my hand again. Now, I kind of want them to counter the Ephemerate, right? Okay, so now they can take the Teferi out of my hand, which is annoying. I have another one. We can also start calling for very good cards. So I'm just going to let this resolve here. No reason to respond. Yeah, but we have so many cards in our hand. Like, I mean, I'm not freaking out. Like, they only have 3 cards, so they're going to have a counterspell and dismember and something else. I mean... And we have another Eternal Witness we can just cast to get things back. So if they dismember now, totally fine with that. Okay, so remand. Fair enough. So they're on 1 blue. Doesn't really do very much. I think I'll just start by sky-apping. Seems fine. So we attack, and if they have a Dismember for Skyclave, we just ephemerate whatever they block. No blocks. So shields are down here. Should do some nice stuff, I guess. Watcher digs for that force. Opponent with the Spell Snare. Sweet. It's actually not sweet. It's pretty obnoxious, but what are you going to do? I think the only card the opponent knows I have. Well, they knew. I think Oracle just told them about the call, and they know I have an Ephemerate. We have 7 power. It's a 2-turn clock. Nothing else happens. Oh, is this like a shark or something? Torrential Gearhulk. It's gonna let them. So, what do I have with Eladamri's Call that could get something good here? I don't have too many flash creatures, so I don't think it really matters. All right, so the Gearhulk is gonna resolve. Gets back this crazy Epiphany thing, which they do have mana to cast. So I think I'm going to let them cast that thing and then do like an Ephemerate, get back Path their Torrential Gearhulk. Oh, cast for free. All right, true. Forgot about that. Wow, so that's pretty good, right? Without paying its mana cost. So what are they trying to do? They're returning this. Creating a token of this. Is that just going to, oh no, it's not going to just loop forever, right? So now I want to path that, right? Like right now. So let's start by doing this. Okay, so now they're going to get this copy. And maybe, yeah, this is sort of fine because I'm just going to let them block and then Ephemerate. I don't have Venser in the deck, so they're dismembering this. It seems pretty stupid. Okay. Don't know how many more white sources I have, just the one. So I can go get what is exiled here? They exiled Uro, I think, way earlier in the game. So I could get Deputy, but I can't cast it yet. I'm at 5 life. Interesting. Just get like a snake and get it on the board, I guess. Well, let me just cast Eternal Witness here. Maybe I just want to path this token right now. But Ephemerate seems pretty clutch, so I think I'll just get Ephemerate back. Alright, so we're just going to try the Ghost Block thing. Opponent on 2 cards should not have, like, you know, crazy bombs necessarily. They played in Urza's Tower. They can't attack, so we are going to go for the Ephemerate here. Actually, you can just go for call. So I guess I'll get Deputy. I haven't drawn a single force. Do they have another Gear Hulk? All right, 2-turn clock. Leaving up double Ephemerate. Maybe I should get like a Watcher back right now. Watcher for tomorrow. I say A, but it's pretty much the. Still no forces, huh? Veil is the most unique card there, so. I'm falling way too far behind on clock, though. It's kind of annoying. Like, it's just punting in that way. Okay, 10 mana, 12 mana. They just get to kill me with a Ballista here. Did they really top deck a Ballista? So imagine that I hit Ceremonious Rejection here. I can't. The only life gain I had in the deck is Uro, and so that's gone. Ephem Snake for what, though? For what am I trying to draw? Draw the rejection. Draw the rejection. You guys are so smart. Well, it is exactly 1 card in the deck, so let's see how it goes. Blah! I'm still gonna lose this match, guys. I'm still gonna lose the match. I'm not gonna cast these things. Still definitely gonna lose the match. But that was insane. Team Soulherder right there. Thanks for the suggestion. Like, I was like, what if I had Ceremonious Rejection? It was so unlikely that I thought it was just like pointless to try drawing a card. Like I did, it's like it's just buried somewhere in the deck. So I'm just going to. I've been in situations like this, and I've actually won them in some situations. But now it's just play creatures and attack. Like you can't worry about what they're doing. So to that end, I don't think we want to change anything here. All right, so let's do it. Yeah, that was the best top deck I've had maybe in my life. Well, a single copy and 26 cards, otherwise I lose the game on the spot. Doesn't happen every day. Against the worst matchup, our worst possible matchup. And it kind of sucks because I've been dilly-dallying a little bit with time, so I'm almost certainly going to lose to time here. Well, let's just say I'm losing to Bluetron. Like, I'll play as fast as I can, and, you know, Bluetron is going to beat me, I guess. Yeah, somebody make a clip of that, please, if you know how to do that. This is a keep. We got beatdowns with Night of Autumn, and we've got blow up stuff with this dude. Gonna get green blue to start things off. We've got a force that we can pitch. Okay. So like a forest or something off the top, or an island would probably be best. My reaction was pretty what do I want to say? I need to think here. Pretty genuine. I think it was something like blah. Let's go, opponent. Well, in theory, that's sort of good. But remember that, like, the biggest thing that we get wrecked by is the walking ballistas. Just gonna play a Night of Autumn and just protect it, basically. Right, pulling with the Ether Gust, playing as tight as I can here. We did draw that next green and blue source. Opponent without a land drop, pretty sick. Condescend for 2, can't pay it. There's F6, they're gonna scry. They're scrying 2, so they're looking for lands. I'll let you guys know what they do. They put 2 to the top. Unfortunate for us. So now Night of Autumn is in the graveyard. We do want blue. Okay. Okay, still missing land drops. Use this turn to get Soulherder. Actually, hang on, stop. Pass the turn. We're gonna try to avoid stuff like Ephemerate because it's got a lot of triggers. So trying to get through this. Can't do that. Let's go to attacks, play Soulherder. Hey Sess, I am 1-0, but I'm about to lose to time against Bluetron. I had the most exciting top deck ever in the last game. This is game 3. Opponents whiffing on lands, but they're scrying like crazy with Condescends. So they went bottom here. So a good scry for them to clear out the chaff on the top of the deck. Walking Ballista, I do have the path, but they do have a counter, so we're going to hit that right now. F6, and then if we draw green, we can go get path back. They let it resolve, so it gets them a land. Maybe they have like a Walking Ballista, so they let it resolve. Let's go to attacks. I'm going to play one of these Coiling Oracles and then play Ether Vial. And now we are F6'd. Opponent doesn't like this. They're going to counter again. 3 Condescends. 6 Scries. They went top and bottom. So let's get that counter spell ready. Transmuting for another Walking Ballista, I'm sure. Skyclave is at the ready. Oh, they found Urza's Tower. So now we get to force. They're getting very low on cards. They're just passing the turn. All right, so we can't cast these Ewits, which is like super painful. So just going to go to attacks. I'm going to pass with pitching Oracle and flashing in Ice Fang. I think they have like 2 pumps here. 2 pumps. I get to wipe my board if they want to. But we've got these witnesses, man. There it is. There it is. All right, guys. Oh, they have the counter. Shit. If they have Condescend for 1, I should have played a land. Okay, well, just getting rid of it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, shit, you gotta click on this. Okay. Once on 2 cards. We've got a counterspell in hand. Teferi. Any order. Let's go. Oh, this is annoying. Mindslaver gets forced. We do have Academy Ruins for Walking Ballista, but we can go get... man, Ceremonious Rejection would be sick here. I don't know, because they have the Ballista recurring. So how do I deal with the recurring Ballista, guys? Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me how I beat the recurring Ballista. Too many triggers. Call for something good. I don't know. Maybe Ice Fang, just instant speed stuff. I don't know, guys. Oh, Thassa. Thassa's big and bad. All right, I don't know. It's a terrible matchup. This is one of the worst things that can happen. Just recurring Ballista, and I don't have any real answer to it. No, that's fine. That's fine. The value is worth it for sure. What can I do here? Can I anything to get there? Oh, I have an Ashiok in the deck. I have one Ashiok, I think. So yeah. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They can go to 5. Hit a bunch of my creatures if they want. It's pretty good. Don't know that I have this Teferi. Night of Autumn gets big, makes it hard for them to kill. Yeah, Ashiok for the graveyard, I mean, was not like high on my list of things to do. All right, so Ceremonious is my out again. Shit. I need to draw Ceremonious here. Oh, but then it goes to the graveyard. But I have the Witness to recur it. Come on, opponent. I guess they've got time that they can think about this. Thinking about what to kill. Okay. No, it's not. It's not really excitement though, because they're getting an X equals 5 ballista every single turn. And I've got one Eternal Witness in the graveyard already. One here means I only have one other one in the deck. So if when they kill this Eternal Witness, it's pretty much lights out. Kill Teferi. Bluetron exists only when I'm playing leagues. Otherwise, outside of that, it doesn't exist at all. Uro is a card here, guys. Uro is a card, but I've got 1 minute, so... Can't escape it now. Oh, but it can ephemerate it. That seems good. Countering whatever they do here. They couldn't have another counterspell in hand, right? That would just be kind of ridiculous. Wait, what? How is Uro still on the battlefield? They countered my Uro trigger. What? They didn't want me to gain life. But they can just kill it if they want to. I mean, they've got more than enough mana. Nah, I've got 107, guys. It's almost like it's next to impossible to. No, they can't. It's one whole trigger, right? Oh, they countered the sacrifice trigger. That's funny. But I gain life and draw a card? I didn't. Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't draw a card off of Uro. Getting another tower, maybe, to just go crazy with the buffs. Oh, I should have... Come on, let it get... Come on, let's go. Yeah. Ephemerate is too bad here. I think they can just dome me here. They have 12. Well, they need 24 mana for that, right? So 18 mana. Jesus Christ. How did Call win? Call can't win me the game. It wouldn't make sense because they can just kill all my creatures in response, right? I don't think I can do anything here, guys. Yeah, I don't have any time to do this. Like, what does Eternal Witness do? He just kills everything in response. What does Eternal Witness do? Yeah, but it doesn't do anything because he kills all my creatures, right? I should have played a little bit faster. Maybe opponent will punt and forget to put it on top of their deck or whatever. Venser always helps against Tron, but I've just felt like I haven't really needed it. I've had some turns to get to draw into a ceremonious rejection. All right, guys. Did my best. Just give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. So, yeah, I mean, to discuss how the game would have gone if I had more time, Uro is generating nice value. His opponent is having a hard time sort of dealing with it. I do have one more Eternal Witness in the deck. The problem is that if it ever goes to the graveyard, that's it for Eternal Witnesses. So, because there's 2 in here already, and there's only 1 more in the deck. So if I call for Eternal Witness, because I need to create some sort of loop with Ceremonious Rejection, the opponent can kill that Eternal Witness. She's just got 1 toughness. It goes to the graveyard. I counter the Ballista, and then they just keep recurring it. So Ceremonious Rejection... Well, let's see. Hang on. I need them to bottom out the Ballista, right? Because if it goes to the graveyard, and then they tap out to cast it again, then I could ceremoniously reject it and call for Eternal Witness, get Ephemerate, get the Ceremonious Rejection back. But that would require them to bottom out the Ballista, and they're at a situation where they don't have to bottom it out really. So I don't. It's tricky because they might not know what they have to play around. So I could potentially do it. I mean, the way that they're getting the most damage is by just, again, bottoming out Ballista, and then Academy Ruins lets them get like a 2-to-1 ratio on their X rather than with the activated ability, which only, it does +1 counter for each 4 mana. So I think they actually kind of are incentivized to bottom out the Ballista. So if like this turn's top deck was a Ceremonious Rejection, I guess it's too late to draw cards now. It only gives you like a 15-second window or something. So if I had top decked like the Ceremonious and they bottomed out the Ballista to recast it, I think we would be good. I think we could get the loop at this point with the call in hand. So, the clock is a thing, and streaming always takes a little bit of my attention. And, we ended pretty close, though I think the opponent probably used a little extra time because they had it. With call, Collector Oof could be pretty good. I was actually just thinking about adding a second Ceremonious Rejection because Tron without Venser, Tron is that much harder of a matchup. So if I check out my sideboard real quick, think about like what I would do to add a second Ceremonious, or maybe even more. Like the one match I lost in the last stream was to Tron. Let's add 1 more Ceremonious Rejection and trim 1 card. I mean, like, Ashiok is a really great card, but all the cards in the sideboard are really great cards. And I feel like Ashiok generally helps against matchups that I'm pretty good against already. It is kind of like my only graveyard hate, but my plan against Dredge is just like hope that they draw badly, and get down Stonehorn. Because Ceremonious is insane in the matchup, because all we need is one Eternal Witness and an Ephemerate or a Soulherder, and then it's just completely lights out, because they top-decked that Ballista at some point, because they had, for a few turns running in the middle of the game, like 11 mana, 10 mana, and they didn't really do anything with it. They played an island and passed. And then the next turn, they suddenly tapped out and played the Walking Ballista. So anyhow, I think I like adding in that second Ceremonious Rejection. Yeah, that guy does not have any trophies in the current league, nor do I. Okay, so Time Warp is not the best plan against, well, Bluetron certainly, right? And while it can win against Big Tron, I've definitely beaten Tron with the Time Warp combo a few times, but the game needs to go long. I really like Time Warp too, and I saw a recent list that was running like 2 Time Warps, and I mean, I've gotten 4 trophies with Soulherder since I've started playing it. 2 in the last cycle. I'm gonna keep this. It's a dope hand. Opponent is on Luris, so Uro should be amazing. Force maybe less than amazing, but these Ether Vials should be ridiculous. And we're on the play. Opponent kept their 7. So I don't know. Like, Thoughtseize here is a little bit annoying. It's probably one of those red-black decks with Death Shadow and the Scourges. Nope, it's Mill. It's Mill. All right, so hopefully this will be a buy since we have the appropriate sideboard tech. Mill has absolutely nothing they can do like against Ether Vial, so I think I'm just going to play the Ether Vial even if I draw land next turn. Forces are awesome in the matchup, but it's also a great thing for them to be able to surgically extract. Yeah, Contra knows what's going on, man. Just like the ridiculous guy is blessing blowouts. I said in the Discord the other day, the Soulherder Discord, which, by the way, Contra, if you're not in the Soulherder Discord, you should probably get in there. I only see you, I think, in the Merfolk Discord, but I know you really like watching Soulherder. And I post screenshots in there and stuff. But I played against Mill recently, and I got down to the last 5 cards in my library after sideboarding to 70 cards. 5 cards left in the library, and I hadn't hit the guy's blessing yet. So I had a 1 in 5 chance of drawing the drawing the blessing, which just would have lost me the game. So I was getting pretty freaked out. The Mill opponent is saying good luck and have fun. Seems slightly disingenuous from a Mill player. I guess Mill is sort of fun. It's just weird and annoying. All right, so let's try to draw land here. Actually, Eternal Witness is pretty nutty in the matchup as well. Yay! I actually think it might be kind of important in game 1 to just path the crab. Oh, they can I should have done that on the opponent's turn. They can archive trap me. But I guess we'll have to wait and see if they have it. Man, just gotta, yeah, I'm getting trapped. All right, how many traps do they have? Maybe just 1? All right, maybe just 1. So I'm going to path the crab, which will get them black mana, but it should hopefully give me some turns. I'd love to hit my own lands, honestly, because I'd love to escape Uro and start beating down black mana. And these shell docks are going to be online real soon. $20 or fewer cards. Another crab. Awesome. They have a land. Probably a fetch land. Alright, 2 paths in the graveyard. I have a force up, so probably shouldn't just like F6. At this point, they're going to draw 3 cards. I feel like I probably have to counter that. It's very hard to win game 1. Like, very, very, very hard. So, pretty much accepting my fate in game 1. Land. I mean, I guess I can Eternal Witness and get back a land if I really want to do that. Ephemerate is a good card. So, like, Violin Witness. Next turn, I can Violin Uro and escape him. And they don't have Revolt, so I can just Ephemerate like right now. I think I can't get basic plains. Do I have any other basics in here? I have a basic forest, which seems just fine. Okay, they're not representing the surgical here, so can play this, and I could Uro here, and that would let me potentially escape him a turn earlier. Thing is, then I have to top deck exactly a blue source next turn. So we're talking about escaping next turn no matter what anyway. So let me just Ephemerate this now. They only cast the 1 Archive Trap before, so unless they just top decked 1. Let's get Flooded Strand for the next blue source. And, you know, just hope that the opponent has garbage. But they can't have garbage, really. I don't know, because... I'm going to be able to activate those shell docks real soon. The only way we beat them is with damage, so... game 1, we don't have the Gaia's Blessing, so they just wreck us. Because we can't establish a clock quickly enough. Like, I'm talking about escaping Uro on turn 5. Like, that's extremely aggressive out of our deck. Okay, 8 cards to the top, and now they can activate Shelldock. Actually, not quite yet. They can't activate Shelldock yet. But I'm going to draw a bunch of cards next turn so they can activate Shelldock. Oh, they can't activate Shelldock anyway because they don't have the blue mana. It seems like they don't have the blue mana. I'm going to put both of my Ether Vials on... Well, you know what? At this point now, I think I'm going to get a Force. Well, Ephemerate is probably the important card here. Assume that the opponent doesn't really have very much. And we have to tap out this turn for Uro, just to get a clock on the board. They're going to have removal for Uro. So we are not using this one, and we are using this one. Okay, this is gray for some reason. Good job, MTGO. So let's see if they drew the Archive Trap. Let me use the shadowy one. Shadow Ether Vial. Drawing all these cards is also pretty rough because it's milling of a sort, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. Okay, well, we've got a 6/6, but we are at 17 cards in the library. Oh, Ephemerate is a nice one. But I don't have a blue card to pitch to force. Opponent can now activate one of their shell docks. I can Ephemerate Eternal Witness to get a Skyclave to kill the Ruin Crab. They're going to draw 3 cards. But now they can't activate the shell dock right now. Probably not going to matter, guys. I mean, as I said, almost impossible to win game 1. I feel like it's almost impossible to win this matchup without something like Gaia's Blessing or an Eldrazi Titan. So they can just any mill spell me basically, and then untap and mill spell me again. So, now I can get Force online, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Gives me something to go on, right? Oh, I can just go get a Skyclave out of the graveyard, and then I can Ephemerate for Force whenever I want, basically. All right, so we're just trying to cast a Force and then try to get some sort of loop going here. It really just depends on what they've got to work with next turn. Oh, they're surgically extracting, and I can't Ephemerate in response to that. So they're getting rid of the Skyclave Apparition. I can still Ephemerate and get a Path to Exile, but giving them more mana seems pretty bad. I can just go get, the Deputy, I guess. Deputy is in here. So Ephemerate for Deputy. But then I can't Ephemerate for Force in that case. So let's just attack with... All right, so I've got the other Ephemerate in hand for now, so I'll just get the Force for the time being. Somehow I have more time than the opponent, which is kind of hilarious. Okay, so we are just getting in with our creatures. I can call for Deputy right now. And then I still have this to pitch for Force, so... Oh, but I can just cast anyway. So hang on a second. The Ruin Crab might not be well, it's going to mill me no matter what when they play some lands. So, and they're going to have 5... Oh, no! Wait! Wait! What am I doing? What am I doing? Yeah, well, hang on a second. Deputy is in the yard. I'm completely all right, this doesn't really matter in the end here, but that was the biggest brain fart. So, yeah, it is in the graveyard, and I do have a Force in hand. So I think the plan is to Ephemerate. I don't even want to give them a chance to block with the Ruin Crab. They could have another surgical. Oh, yeah, that was pretty funny. If this turns on their Fatal Push, that's kind of annoying. All right, nice. All right, seven cards left. Now 6 cards gonna be left. Another Force. Give me another Force. What are you doing? Do I have to force this? I think I have to force this, guys. Oh, he's he's pushing this thing, and then we have a fetch land next turn. I can't Ephemerate to get Path right now. So they can activate one of their things to cast any mill spell here. I think I'm just dead. I need to force this, and then hope that I draw the last Force in the deck. Oh no, there is no other Force because I've only got 3 in the main deck. You know, the first game is kind of a joke because it's virtually unwinnable, and then hopefully games 2 and 3 should be virtually unlosable. The only way we lose game 2 or 3 is if the opponent... No, sorry. If we draw... I don't think I have any like blue lands to get, but whatever. Okay, well, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm like 1 short of lethal next turn if they somehow have 0 stuff this turn to do. No more forces. No more nothings. Yeah. Ephemerate here for another force would be nice. Oh, they just played... Huh. What? They didn't cast a spell off of Shelldock? What? What did they just cast with... They didn't cast anything with Shelldock Isle. It makes no sense. Ugh. I can't do anything. I wish I could like go call for a creature force that I could pitch. Oh yeah, it lets them play a land. That's funny. They didn't even need the land. So this is gonna mill me out for 8. I should search. Yeah, I'm gonna search for my land. See what kind of lands I have left. Oh, I've got a land that I can play Quaddle with. That's nice. All right, so 0 cards left in the deck. There's no way to put anything back on top of the deck. So Eladamri's call to get the 0 cards out of the deck. All right. Now I wanted to search before they did that. Just actually get a land. Okay, guys. So all we have to do in games 2 and 3 is not time out and not draw this card. It's 1 out of 70 cards. It's kind of nice because the opponent is going to use their surgicals like in response to Eternal Witness, so hopefully they'll like run out of them or not have them at the opportune time when Gaia's Blessing shows up. I might even just bring in the Winds of Abandon, just like kills a crab. Because again, all we have to do is not draw Gaia's Blessing. Because Ivan Mind Sensor is a creature that flies and deals damage. What's the other question? Ashiok. They have cards that care about how many cards are in graveyards. So, and also it's just we can mill them out. So it's an alternate win condition. So get rid of their graveyard. It's not amazing, but it's just an extra card that they have to mill. And it reduces, bringing in more cards not only makes it harder for them to win with their sort of basic plan, but it makes it less likely for us to draw the Gaia's Blessing. All right, so yeah. So I'm just going to submit the deck. And again, for those of you guys who don't know Gaia's Blessing, you should check it out. It's kind of a stupid card. So, I mean, I sort of put up a fight in game 1, but as I said, unwinnable in game 1. I just, I think yesterday when I beat them, or is the day before, I don't know. It was like I think the first time I ever beat Mill with Soulherder. Like, people talk about how, I think I just keep this. It's fine. Just cards. All right. So again, for those of you who don't know Gaia's Blessing, it's like one green, one colorless. You can shuffle 3 cards if you cast it. If you cast it from your hand, you can shuffle 3 target cards from from anybody's graveyard into their deck, I think. But the more important ability is when it gets milled from your library into your graveyard, it shuffles your graveyard back into your library. So every single time we draw a card, we are praying that we don't draw the Gaia's Blessing, because then we basically lose the game. So we've got 1 in 61 odds right now of drawing the Gaia's Blessing. Yep, I am all over it. So the theory with Gaia's Blessing is you want it to come as late as possible, but at the same time, that makes it increasingly likely that you'll draw it. So it's gonna get one trigger no matter what. So even if they have a surgical, if it comes at the end of the game and they're like empty-handed, your library is gonna get like 50 plus cards back in it. Opponent, oh my god, that's awesome. They're using a surgical extraction on path. That's like one of the best things that could happen to us, I think. I mean, look, if they resolve a surgical extraction on Gaia's Blessing, the trigger still resolves on Gaia's Blessing. So however many cards you have in your deck when Gaia's Blessing hits the graveyard, that's how many go back into your library no matter what. If they get rid of the Gaia's Blessing, it just means it's not going to happen again. So they're looking at my deck right now, and they're going to see that there's a Gaia's Blessing in it. So I am just going to play Soulherder here. Going to get another forest. And they might have an archive trap, but I don't really care about their mill spells. All I care about is not drawing Gaia's Blessing. Okay, they just cycled that to draw 1 card. Yep, they get to see my library. So presumably they're looking for stuff like that. But man, like when they have like, you know, they could sideboard into like Beatdown, which would be pretty cool. There's a bunch of like rogues that do mill things. Okay. I mean, did they just draw an archive trap right now? Again, like I don't care about their mill stuff for the most part. And I've got plenty of blue mana in the deck, so whatever. So they're just chilling on these archive. Okay, so this is, I don't know. Opponent's playing weird. So again, best card here is not Gaia's Blessing. I don't care what I draw. Like I don't care if I draw lands. Well, Ashiok is something. Going to attack. Opponent seems to be F6'd. And we're going to start milling them, ladies and gentlemen. Milling the mill deck. Love it. All right, opponent, bring it. Hit some good stuff. Oh, we hit a surgical. Yes. 17 turn clock with Soulherder. I think things are well in hand at this point. We are still slightly ahead on the clock. They're going to return Oboro Tech. They play their crab maybe. Oh no, they've got okay. There's just a fatal push. I'm just going to ephemerate to try to save my dude. If they want to spend another spell to kill him again or counter this, sort of fine. Sort of fine. Ephemerate will go to the graveyard. Soulherder will go to the graveyard. Okay. All right, so once again, the only thing that matters is that we don't draw the Gaia's Blessing. I'm saying that so many times, it's just going to happen, I'm sure. Force, again, we don't really care about their spells too much. Mesmeric Orb is an obnoxious one, but again, we don't really care about their spells. A creature at some point would be nice. Particularly Eternal Witness, so that I can just mill the opponent out. This is going to just draw one card, right? 20 or more cards in it. If a graveyard, you got it, opponent. You draw that one card. Actually, like, super happy to just let mill spells resolve. Actually, just like very unhappy to let. Oh, they put Lurrus in hand. All right, well, that is a creature that we don't. They got rid of our paths, right? So we have limited ways to deal with that, I guess. We have limited ways. I'm probably just going to die to Lurrus now. That's funny. But we do have, we have Sky Apps and Deputies and ways to gain life. Hey, that's a good one. Let's keep milling the opponent out. So I'd actually love to... this opponent's probably going to tap out for... They don't have Revolt here. So I feel like I should do the Witness now. Get back and Ephemerate. Get back like Soulherder and then just Ephemerate instantaneously. Well, I guess we don't have to Ephemerate instantaneously. We can just do it like this. This is a clock. Like, Soulherder is going to grow big enough that... And they have removal spells, so they can just kill the Soulherder, but I can Ephemerate and get it back. So it's going to be an interesting battle. If they know I have the Gaia's Blessing, they might just not even mill me, which is so weird, right? Like, I'm just going to try to mill the opponent out, honestly. We've got the Ephemerates to buy Ashiok back from the graveyard. We can grow this to 4 whenever we want with the Ephemerates. That was a decent draw as well. All right, so now, just pass the turn, hold up double Ephemerate. I'm also going to, I might want to get this Coatl down now. Actually, you know what? I think like having a blue card to pitch seems okay. Yeah, I'm going to get back a land that I don't have to search my library for. Okay, well, things getting interesting. We can try to Ghost Block here. We've got the Force if they try to Archive Trap us with that Field of Ruin. Just float the white here. So you're going to float the blue, right? And get white, maybe? Float the blue and get blue. Opponent is prevented from searching their library. I love it. It's so good. It's so good. Ashiok. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. So I think I'm fine just taking my beats here if they want to get in. I could grow the Soulherder, but I don't. I only have 1 white mana right now to respond with Ephemerates. Could respond with Ephemerate and then counter something. That seems fine. I've got way more cards than the opponent. Yeah, that's gonna get forced. Actually, you know what? Again, I don't care about this stuff, right? Don't care about it. Bring it. Do I even want to cast this? I don't think I want to keep it in hand as a blue card. But it gets in the air. No, whatever. It's good. Let's go. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no, guys! So yeah, I'm gonna... I currently have no blue card to pitch, but, well, if I play this thing, which I'm going to do, they could force it, I could Ephemerate and get it back again. So I think now we probably attack. Like 1 out of 36 cards. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. I'm definitely going to grab a blue card. I'm going to grab Ashiok, actually. Okay, opponent scoops. Thank God. They have no idea that I just drew the Gaia's Blessing. Oh, sweet Jesus. All right. So it's it's very fun post board. It's just like the dynamics involved are ridiculous. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. So that is that's part of the dynamic of Gaia's Blessing that I didn't actually fully think about, like, which is if we somehow are significantly ahead and they know that we have the Gaia's Blessing in the deck, they can just concede because they feel like that it's so unlikely that they can win. So for I think it was Phil who asked why I'm bringing in Ashiok. That's why I'm bringing in Ashiok. Also, Celestial Purges are solid too, right? Because they get rid of Luris, and that's one of their win conditions. So we get to go up to 72 cards. Auriok Champion, sort of okay, but not really necessary. So I'm not going to... but it is an extra card that they have to mill. And it is just a creature that can attack and win through their defenses. But I'm not going to bring it in. But that was pretty fun. Oh man, I thought I was almost done for there when I drew that Gaia's Blessing. It's very unlikely. We've had two extremely unlikely top decks so far in this league. We had the did anybody make a clip of that that top deck against Mono Blue Tron? So that was one in 26, and Gaia's Blessing was just like 1 in 36, balancing out the universe. So this is fine. Again, we just kind of need cards that are not Gaia's Blessing. Okay. You know what? I actually think I'm going to wait to cast the Oracle until I can crack. Well, if they have the archive traps, they just unload them all at once. So typically you want to do it on the opponent's turn. Oh, you know what? Hang on. I should play Teferi. No, I can't play Teferi unless I crack these things. So getting ahead of myself here. Okay, so they're getting a Mesmeric Orb. Sort of fine. We've got this guy. We do want to get white lands for Skyclave. So I'm going to go get green-white, and I think... Would I rather take 2 life or mill a card? I could also just get basics, just like basic blue seems fine here for now, honestly. No, I do want to cast Sky App soon, so I guess just blue-white. Yeah, but it's a little different here, Beyonce, because if the opponent, I kind of want to mill because I've got Gaia's Blessing, but I'll go ahead and take the damage. Yeah, so we're getting Archive Trapped. Let's see how many Archive Traps there are. So if you just cast 1, now I'm just going to crack my fetch right now, which means that they don't have another Archive Trap. 1 Ashiok hit the bin, which is unfortunate because we love us some Ashioks. Oh, they milled? You did not mill my Temple Garden, did you? Yeah, they did. They milled a Temple Garden. That's unfortunate. Well, Breeding Pool is just as well. So hitting a land here would be kind of cool. I think, did the opponent miss their land drop? No, they didn't. They played their second land. I'm just playing slowly. I do need to play maybe a little bit faster than I have been. So I just want them to like tap out to put Lurrus in hand. Now, do they want to get rid of my white mana or my green mana? They can do either with Field of Ruin. But we want double white to be able to cast Skyclave. Because Mesmeric Orb is just kind of obnoxious. But again, in general, mill doesn't really matter, so it's not that obnoxious. Okay. So they're holding up blue-white, which could be some kind of counter spell, but I don't really don't think they have it. Get Teferi down, bounce the orb, make them replay it, draw an extra card with Teferi, or yeah, it's just Eternal Witness for Night of Autumn and make them burn a Surgical. Or just go get Ashiok, because that's our win condition here, right? That's going to draw 1 card. Strange timing. Okay. To see if they get the trap. Makes sense. We do want to get white mana at some point. We have an extra green there, and we've got extra blue, so white seems fine. Oh no, I was just going to, well, whatever. It's not the end of the world. I was going to cast Eternal Witness, but now I have to wait. Getting myself all psyched out here. Just in the business of drawing cards here. All right, well, we got a path for that. And Mesmeric Orb. Okay, so we're going to mill 3 cards. We're hoping now that it is, well, let's see what happens. All right, so we're still not. Let's tick this up. Let's play this. Let's play Eternal Witness. Maybe, so I could play Eternal Witness and then Ephemerate, get Ephemerate. Well, do I want to path the Dark Confidant right now? I think I get Ephemerate and then hold it. But I think I do want to path the Dark Confidant. Should have done it during their, oh no, can't do it in their upkeep. That's something that cares about upkeep. Actually, I kind of like Mesmeric Orb when we have the, like, just consistently milling me is good. It just, well, I don't know. How many forces are in here? 3 forces. No, all 4 forces. Wow. Okay, so hopefully we get to untap with Eternal Witness and Ephemerate to get back a Force of Negation. Oh man, opponent just Fatal Pushed without Revolt. Feels bad, dude. What? Damnation? What's happening here? What? They just kicked that. Destroy target creature. Okay, so they use 2 removal spells to kill Eternal Witness. So now, let's tick this up. I do want to get a Force of Negation back, which means I should get. Well, I don't have enough green to do that right now. There's only 1 Eternal Witness in there. Skyap starts the clock ticking a little bit. It's green-white. I'll just play this guy now. Sorry. Path is something. Then we green-white for Eternal Witness. Hold up, path, hold up. Hold up, Ephemerate. Opponent down to 1 card, drawing up to 2 here. But I don't think we want to get rid of the orb. Oh, they put Luris in hand. And this is just gonna draw a bunch of cards now. Nothing we can do about that. Okay, they're gonna crack this now. I think I'm just going to let the mill resolve, right? The odds are better for us if we just let the mill, right? Uro's in the graveyard now. And now what? Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm just gonna do this, right? Okay, we drew another call. And I think we're just going to continue with the plan. Just to play slightly quickly. Calling for Eternal Witness, and the opponent's sort of F6, so maybe we can squeeze through even if they have an Archive Trap. Very nice. Veil is something. Opponent knows that I have it, and I drew another Eternal Witness. That's pretty good. All right, so now we get a Force. Probably gonna have to discard something. Tick this up. I can path this guy now, I guess, if I feel like it. Although I don't really feel like it. I kind of want them to just mill me out. We can pitch one of these Skyclaves. I don't think I need both of them. Actually, I should have gotten Ephemerate, ephemerated, and then got Force. I'm playing a little loose here. Luris is going to resolve. What do they have that they can recast? Not a lot, right? I don't have a lot of green mana here. Spell Bomb. Oh, shit. Spell Bomb is going to get forced. Nice. They have another Spell Bomb there, but I'm just going to hit Luris. Oh, man, I wish I could drown right now, but I can't. Turns are taking a while, so Luris is dealt with. Can draw a card now with Teferi. Ceremonious. Just gonna play some creatures. Ugh, what am I doing? Oh, no, wait, no. This one. Go back in the deck, guys. Blessing. Any order. It's at the bottom of the deck. So attack. And now I'll play this guy up. Why should I not play Sky App? Oh, they are shuffling my deck again? Oh man, there's only 4 cards in the deck now. What? No, god damn it. Am I losing here? I think I'm losing here. I think you were the one who told me to get rid of the orb before. And so I was like, all right, whatever, let's just get a clock on the board. That was stupid. So I'm pretty sure I'm just dead now. I had a 1 in 4 chance and I did it. There's no way to get this back in the deck. Yeah, but we wanted to mill, so don't confuse me like that. It's totally my fault, but no, I obviously, at this point, I can see I shouldn't have skyclaved. I didn't realize how few cards I had in the deck. I wasn't really paying attention to that, but I think we are just dead here, though. Don't even have double green. I can shuffle cards back into the deck, but that doesn't do anything at this point. I think I'm just going to scoop. Oh, well, I mean, I don't have enough time, right? And I don't have green mana for it. So I'm just going to scoop, guys. Like, I'm going to consider that a punt, and I'm just going to scoop. I have 3 minutes. I can't grind it out. They've got nice blockers. We don't have any damage. I've got 3 cards in the deck. I don't have enough land to do any of that. You guys are getting, like, a little bit silly thinking I can loop, like, with the mana that I'm working with. Okay, so that was totally my fault. As I said like 10 times, if not more, that mill is good for us when we have like a guy's blessing in the deck. I don't know. Like, I'm blaming this one on chat. I'm not totally not my fault at all. I take no responsibility. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So, I mean, like, I'm learning a lesson there that I already knew, but hopefully you guys are learning the lesson now. Do not concern yourselves with any of their mill spells if you want them to mill you, right? You just want them to mill the guy's blessing. You want them to have more mill opportunities than you have drawing opportunities. You just want, like, when you get to the point where it's like 4 cards in the deck, like where I just lost, it's terrible because now suddenly you have a 25% chance to just lose the game off the top deck. But if they're milling you, like, you're virtually guaranteed to win. So, man, I told you guys a strategy. I'm keeping this. That's frustrating. I mean, like, I don't really care if I win or lose. It's not like, not so important. But like, you know, you play for a half an hour, 40 minutes, and you just punt away the win for no reason. But I don't think it's fine. I just think it's a bad plan. Isn't it like a completely terrible plan to get rid of their orb? It's one. I actually said when they played orb that it's good when you have Gaia's Blessing in the deck, because again, it creates more milling instances, which outweigh your drawing instances. So I think I just think you want them to mill you as much as possible. And they're just going to eventually run out of. They're just going to eventually run out of cards. That's what happens. All right, so time to start paying attention, I guess. I should be looking to get Death Touch online because this is Blue-Red Prowess, which I haven't seen in a million years. No, because Panda, they have the one thing that gets you is ceremonious. Ceremonious. What am I talking about? Is surgical extraction, and then it doesn't matter if you have one or two. And having two, I don't know, like it would make it better for sure, but it would make the matchup better having more Gaia's Blessings. But it's actually quite good having one. Is the answer to the question. Well, okay, that was like the best draw we've had in a little while. So I'm going to go get like a basic green probably, and then basic white. So, well, no, now I need to get basic white because I just played that. It's pretty bad. But I will play the Ether Vial. Yeah, exactly. Like if one Gaia's Blessing virtually guarantees you a win against the entire matchup, which I didn't win, but it's only because I played like a jackass and not because I couldn't win. So I don't there's no real reason to rip this path now. I think I am going to follow through with getting basic green. Yeah, surgical gets them both. There are certainly going to be instances where having multiple in the deck is better. And the draw here is so strange. The things that I've been ripping here. So I'm just going to play the basic for now and path. I'm going to path. They don't run counter spells. And, you know, if they run like Spell Pierce or something, we've got enough to pay for it. And we've got a Force. So I'm just going to pass to them and path on their upkeep. So it'd be nice if I start drawing, you know, some usable cards. Opponent drawing weird too, it looks like. Soul Scar is a thing. And there's no reason to rush this Deputy out. Like, I'm not going beat down plan with Deputy. It's unnecessary. I'll draw something meaningful eventually. She's got blue, blue, green, green. So I want white, whatever. White, green. Doesn't really matter. I mean, I shouldn't complain because the opponent's doing nothing as well, but I still feel like I want to complain. Like Uro would make it all better. That's not terrible. There's also no reason to run it out right now, though. I'll do it on the opponent's end step. Now, let's see if they know to kill this with it on the stack. Probably not. Most people don't. If they do, then I'm just going to probably force it. Like, card draw is pretty important to me now. Okay, Uro is the Nutter Butters right here. I think I'm just going to like Kamikaze into the Soulscar Mage here. Actually, I've got Ephemerate, so why don't I just go for... Well, the thing is, if I get Uro, I can vial him in and then immediately cast him or escape him, so... and going for Ephemerate just seems a little loose because I like having Ephemerate back. So let's just see how the opponent responds to this. Maybe they Lava Dart my face to grow this guy. Oh, they're just taking it. Interesting. All right. So now I'm going to force their hand just by Ephemerating. Like if they Lava Dart or just otherwise kill this guy in response, totally fine with me. Okay, so Lava Dart from hand. Cool. I hope you're kidding about that, Contra. Because I've answered that question many, many times. And there's only one answer to it. It's no. Soulherder is amazing. Beautiful art. Beautiful effect. Okay, gain some life. Gain some life, put the land on the battlefield. Okay. So now, yeah, doing okay here. Crash through. Not that important. Swift Spear. Uh-huh. Oh, that's awesome. Somebody else was showing off attacking here. Fine. Okay. This is all fine. So it's still a 5/6. See, it's gonna Lava Dart my face, I guess, or something, or shrink it with Lava Darts. I don't know. What's the opponent want to do? I might just rip the Ephemerate here, although it would stay exiled unless I violin the Deputy on the upkeep. If I let it die, I've only got 4 cards in the graveyard, but I could easily draw something that will go in as the 5th card. They're going for my face. These are going to grow. I feel like gaining life and drawing a card is worth this Ephemerate. So let's say okay. And again, interesting. Opponent's going all in here on this Swift Spear. Oh my god. So I'm going to 12. Got another one? Let's go. Just dump the hand. Wow. Okay, I'm going down to 9. Oh, they have trample. They have trample. Oh, they have trample. I think this is going to get me, guys. It is going to get me. Well, I can force this now. I'll stay at 12. I'll gain 3 of 15. Oh, it's still exactly lethal, right? I think it's still exactly lethal. And I don't think I could have played this any better than I did because it's... Well, currently, let's say I go to 9. I'm going to take 3 over the top. It's exactly 9 this way. If I Ephemerate, then suddenly I'm taking 6 more damage. So Ephemerating actually not the way to do this here. And if I force, I think the opponent just has the nuts. Like the first bolt was fine. The second bolt suddenly very much not fine. I couldn't have held up the vial because then I wouldn't have had a blocker to begin with. I guess I could take a creature out of combat that way. I mean, I didn't expect them to come in for 18, 20 points of damage here. Now, is there anything I could draw that, I mean, like I could draw a path, right? So I think I have to do this. Or even another ephemerate. So I'm at 15, but I'm taking a lot here, and I think that's it, guys. I think that was the craziest hand. And yeah, I could have held up deputy, but didn't. So I think I'm just toast, right? Taking 15, countering it, yeah. All right, so I'm conceding. Because I forced the bolt and then they hit me for 15. It's right here. I just said it like 4 times. Right? It's making sure. Because look, if hold on a second. I would have been at 12 life if I didn't ephemerate, right? I went through all of this stuff. I would have been at 12 life because I just gained 3 from Uro. If I forced it, I'd be at 12 life right now if I don't ephemerate. These guys are coming with 15 points of damage. I'm stopping 6 of it, so I would take... Oh, God. No, didn't I just think through all of this stuff? If I force the bolt, I'm at 12. Don't ephemerate. Did I? What the fuck? I can't concede again. I already lost. Yeah, I think, I don't know. Like, I went over the math like 3 times, and it seemed fine to me, but apparently not. I thought that I was at 12. No, I was at 12. If I force the bolt, I stay at 12. I block and I only take 9. So you're right. I think you're right. Well, they do have trample, right? But I would have taken 3 plus 6, 9, and then I should have been at 12 life. I'll have to look at the replay, guys. Just a mess there. Fortunately, I don't have to spend too much time on sideboarding because I know the deal here. I'm pretty sure I could have won that game. But I went through it multiple times and it seemed like I was correct, but maybe not. Ugh, should have won that. I mean, the opponent had a really crazy hand. They both had trample, didn't they? He couldn't have given trample after blockers because a crash through is a sorcery. Well, this is one kind of hand. I'll have to look at it again. I don't know. Now that Kale is pointing it out, I'm not sure I thought about the life correctly. Yeah, it's not a problem. So this is if you've cast it this turn, right? So what they should do is go to combat, see if I path the Swift Spear, and then play this second main phase. But now I'm going to path this thing. Oh, they lose the mana. Yes, you're right. Of course. I knew there was a reason for it, but I couldn't wrap my head around it. They had the mana floating from Monomorphos, of course. So it wasn't a bad play. It was the completely normal play to make. Just playing Skyclave. I get to untap with Ephemerate and be pretty good. And play another creature? Oh, just bolting to get back the 1/1? Fair enough. Oh, man. All right. That's how this deck rolls. Push lots of damage really quick. I don't think I'm playing around Lava Dart here. I think I would just block the illusion. I guess maybe Ephemerate just to keep it on the battlefield. Nah, I think Ephemerate is more important with Oracle and Stonehorn. See, I mean, if they have the I'm blocking this. If they have the Lava Dart, they could kill it anyway. They just get one more point at my face, which is the same as this anyway, hitting my face. So now I think I just wins plus Oracle, or Oracle plus Oracle and then wins. So Oracle hopefully hits a land. Path is better than wins, I guess. Can hold up Ephemerate plus Path now. They've got Lava Dart in the graveyard. They've got exactly one mountain. So let's pass the turn. Opponent scooping. You got some impatient opponents this evening. Well, this afternoon. All right, so just a second, and I'll be back. Yeah, the scoop seemed weird. I am pretty sure that I wasn't losing game one, and I have no idea how I wrap my head around at the very least I should have started by forcing the lightning bolt and then reassess the situation. But I was at so I was at 12 before ephemerating. I could force the bolt, that takes it off the stack. Now I'm looking at, I'm pretty sure it was a 9 and a 6 attacking me. I'm stopping 6 because I have Uro, and then I take 3 and 6 is 9. And after forcing the bolt, I would have been at 3. I would have been at 12 minus 9. So, it's like punting when you have the answer in your hand. There's no reason to scoop. I don't know. Just getting into some weird situations today, like against Mill, giving myself the opportunity to punt when I have the win on the board and then just like taking the punt. So this is a keep. That's a good one. I protect my worship a little bit. Now, they sometimes run Blood Moon. So if we could get like a basic white at some point to be able to cast worship, I like a fetch, I would just go get basic white like immediately. This is going to be monomorphosed into their flying dude. So really removal is like king in this matchup because they just need like creatures to throw mutagenic growths onto. Thing is, I feel fine. Like I'm focused, I'm awake. I'm just like not making the best decisions for some reason. So I mean, there's no reason to play anything now. I'm just going to flash in a Coatl, and they're almost certainly going to have a Bolt or a Lava Dart. And this is how they try to do this. They want to win right now. They're not messing around. So let me get this thing on the battlefield. There's that basic white. Okay, all right, so let's see what they've got. My creature's out of the picture. It's 4 damage now. Okay, another bird. So the thing is, like, keeping creatures on the table to protect the worship is going to be hard. This is not, like, by any means guaranteed here. So I can play Uro and gain a bunch of life, which is nice. All right. Welcome Raiders. Happy to see you here. I am making bad decisions while playing Soulherder currently. Okay, I'll play this tapped. All right, so we have to not die at 22 life with the opponent on 4 cards next turn, and me with the blocker with Death Touch. They do have the Lava Dart in the graveyard, though, so that's coming for my Ice Fang for sure. But getting the Lava Dart out now is good for us. As long as I don't die. But I could die. Oh, they don't have any mountains. They don't have any mountains to sack for the Lava Dart. That's super interesting. Oh, yeah, Witch King on top of it. You saw that as well. Let me, they went top here? Oh, crash through. All right, this is a lot of damage, but I don't think it's lethal. And since it's not lethal, I'm not blocking. Because with Worship doesn't care. Though they could have mutagenic growths, right? So this is currently 12 plus 4, 16. Mutagenic growth adds 3 just as being a spell. Plus 2 is 5. 16. So they have 1 mutagenic growth. This becomes an 8/8, then a 9/9, and then so 9, 7, and 5. It's 12 plus 9 is 21. I think we're still okay with 1 mutagenic growth. I'll flash this guy in now. It doesn't have a mountain. And I'm putting him on fewer than 2 mutagenic growths, and I think I should be okay here. Oh, but if I don't block, then I can't crack lands, but I think I have enough lands for now. And we've got Uro in the graveyard. But if I block, it gets me closer to casting Uro, but I can always do that at some point. The thing is, if I Death Touch block, they have Trample. I take 1 less damage. And the thing I need, once I get Worship down, all I care about is having creatures. Like, they need to kill all of my creatures. I lost against Mill because I punted. So I'm going to go ahead and not block, guys. If they have 2 mutagenic growths, I'm fine taking that. Okay. They don't. So let's go ahead and vial in this second. This is loose. Deputy is pretty nice. But I'm not going to cast it right now. Ugh, maybe this was a little loose. Drawn too many lands. So Deputy means these things are not attacking next turn. But I can't cast Deputy and Worship, and I think I just die if I don't play Worship. I can Worship and then call. And, I mean, if they have 2 removal spells, they can play them whenever with Ether Vial, although I could have waited until after their combat. I was like, okay, I'll get in for 1 point of damage. Which I'm going to do, because I'm going to play Worship. But I should have left up Ether Vial on 2, or with 3, just to get a creature on the battlefield. I mean, this guy's coming in through Vial next turn. Jesus, this is so annoying. Like, if they kill both of my creatures, then I'm just dead. Which is a very real possibility. But if I was going to use Deputy, then I should have just left back blockers. Well, I don't know. Let's hope for the best. Here, I would go get just like a basic forest and then call for, yeah, exactly, like Deputy or something. Yeah, Stonehorn is always a consideration, but here we have to just not die. All right, so I mean, we have to not lose both of our creatures. And they've got 3 cards in hand as with a Lava Dart in the graveyard. And a redraw on the Islet. If I get to untap... Oh no, guys, they have it. Oh well, no, they used it for Crash Through. Okay, but... Okay, I think it still have it. There's like 2 removal spells. They have a Lava Dart, so they need 1 removal spell. They need a Bolt. They need anything. Oh wait, stop. Don't go to damage yet. Actually just hurt my arm, not going to cancel my F6. All right, so fetch lands are offline. Uro is in the graveyard. Gaining life isn't such a big deal, but getting creatures on the battlefield that are hard to... So calling here for something like Stonehorn could be nice. We could actually do that with the mana that we have. I can Deputy on their turn if I feel like it. If we're going to play this, basically, let's see, we can't do this yet. We can call and then... We can call for some 3-drop as an extra creature, and then Uro. I think that seems like it's probably going to be good enough. I've got green, blue. Gonna call. I actually have a 3-drop in hand, so that doesn't really matter too much. So just like ways, Auriok seems great. And now I'm going to escape Uro with blue, green, blue. Okay, so now we've got 3 creatures that they have to deal with. I can crack these fetches now, which is nice, because I don't just die. Eternal Witness is a good creature to have. Actually, Auriok, yeah, is pretty good. I guess I can play this fetch, crack both of the fetches, because honestly, being at 4 is the same as being at 1, basically. So... I can go get... Oh, man, I should have thought about this a little bit more carefully. Can I... I can't get Auriok down right now, I think.
get basic white, but then I can't pay 3 to get Temple Garden right now. Their creatures don't kill me. So I don't care about their creatures at all. And they don't care enough to attack. So I'm just going to put Deputy down, get rid of these Sprite Dragons. And now we should be okay, guys. Should be okay. Can sort of chill out for a moment, not freak out as much. So now I take the attack here. See how they deal with it. Okay, seems good. And we can just path, Ewit path if we feel like it. All right, so pass the turn. Lightning Bolt, my face is not going to do what they want it to do. All right, so this one seems like it's going pretty well. I have 3 life. I can crack this and not die. That's a good one. Opponent's thinking. They have no plays. They're not just dead on board unless I could ephemerate. If I ephemerate, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to take longer than I need to. I can just ephemerate Eternal Witness, get back path, and then I just win. So opponent is empty-handed with no lightning darts in the graveyard. So yeah, ephem for path is good to go. I think I'll probably attack, see what I draw with Uro, and then ephemerate. Just I don't know if that makes any difference. As soon as I get priority, I'm going to ephemerate. It's possible the opponent is just doing like the salty timeout, in which case I'm going to ask them if they're thinking, and I will tell the opponent that I do report people who just time out when they're in a losing position. So yeah, I just told the opponent, I report people who time out in poor positions, so play or don't. It's not really like a threat, it's just that's what I do. I feel like there's no place for, all right, opponent scooped after I say that. And they said in response, learn how to play faster. Okay. I can say in response, my deck has some decisions to make. Decisions take time. And with that, let's return to details. Is there a way to report people on Arena for doing things like that? It's funny, though, that I told the opponent that I report people, and then he decided to scoop. So I should be 3-1 here because I should have beaten Mill, but I spazzed out. I just wanted to get a body on the battlefield, so I played SkyApp and blew up the thing that was going to actually win me the game. So yeah, I'm sorry about the punt against Mill. That should have been an easy win. All right, opponent has won the die roll. This is round 5, currently 2-2. Again, should be 3-1. Not the deck's fault, totally my fault. Partially chat's fault. Another Lurus deck. I think we have to keep this. So hopefully we get like the Mill rematch. Let's go Mill. Well, Lurus black-red decks are usually pretty good for us. So take the Coatl here, certainly. And we have to start drawing some of our 3 paths. We've got the lands. Eternal Witnesses. Oh, they took Eternal Witness. Maybe they have more hand disruption, which is definitely a possibility. We don't want to draw any more lands. I'm going to use this to go get... I guess blue-white. Could just get blue. Could just get blue so that Death Touch is online sooner. I think that might be what I do here. Opponent taking some weird pauses. You know what? Well, we've got the Death Touch in hand, so it's reasonable to do this here, but we are kind of a white-hungry deck with all the Sky Apps right now. I think Vile... I think I get down Vile now, and then I hold up Ephemerate next turn. If they had the extra hand disruption, they would have cast it that turn. And getting Vile ticking is pretty clutch. Opponent racing towards... Death Shadow Life, but they played it tapped. Interesting. So taking it slow. All right, so it is just this Shadow Swiftspear deck, and they're guarding their life total here. It's interesting. I'm taking 2. They're down to 3 cards, but they'll have another one off the bauble. We really just need to draw some non-lands here, I think. Opponent does know about the Ephemerates. Somewhat unfortunate. Okay, again, checking out my top deck. We're going to get a redraw off of the Coatl. I think I would just let the block happen, probably. I'm going to put it on them to have removal for the Coatl before. I'm not going to just Ephemerate. We're 2-2. Should be 3-1 if I didn't punt against Mill, which the win was on the board, and I just did something stupid. Doesn't happen every day. Okay, thought seizing me. I think it's time to get the Coatl down. And with 4 cards in hand, I think I'm sort of... Well, I can let this resolve, so I take whatever they want, right? And again, I'm not going to ephemerate unless they force me to ephemerate. I'm just going to trade with the Swift Spear. No, I'm on 2 planes. I sort of need to be on 2 planes with the Sky Apps in the deck. Speaking of Sky Apps, that would be a ridiculously amazing top deck. All right, so they're going for this now, which I think I do want to respond with the Ephemerate. If they have another removal spell, they're going to buff the Swift Spear even more. If they don't have, okay, they do have it, which is fine. Got another spell out of their hand, which is sort of good for us in its own way. And Ephemerate is like the best card in the deck. So if we can just draw a creature and get things rolling, they do have another. They do have the Lava Dart in the graveyard. Clinging my Ephemerate. Fair enough. It's just a redraw and it grows their Swift Spear. So we've got removal to top deck. We've got creatures to top deck. Opponent is on 1 random card that they just drew. They do have Cling, which they can tap out to recast. Okay, it's a good draw. It's a good draw because now I can go get another snake and vial it in and then potentially ephemerate it. Although calling for a snake, not necessarily the best play. I might be better off like calling for an Uro and trying just not to die next turn. Well, because I wanted to get Death Touch last turn, if that's what you're asking about. And I see what you mean. Why not Thin with Flooded Strand? And I didn't necessarily want to get 2 basic planes. I had one in hand already. And you know, taking less damage against these kinds of decks seems like a reasonable thing to do. So now I play the Strand, and I probably go get the Canopy Vista. We're going to sort of see how the opponent plays, I guess. If we're not just going to die next turn, we'll probably call for Uro. Yeah, and then we can Vial and escape Uro next turn. So can the opponent hit me for 11 this turn? Between Lava Dart, Cling, they can't, well, yeah, they could do that. They could Cling, but then that's still only 1, 2, it's not that much damage. And remember, I can just get a Snake right now just to kill the Swift Spear. They do have a Lava Dart that can kill that. So I'm just going to take the 1 damage now. They're going to put Lurrus into hand. And we're going to get Uro going. All right, Lurrus in hand. And I'm going to be able to escape around Cling to Dust, which is awesome. Unless they have another Cling in hand, which would be really nasty. Oh, but I think I retain priority. That was a good draw. I retain priority, so I don't think Cling matters here. And I knew that before I said that, so it's kind of weird. Green, green, blue, blue, and we leave up white for path, which is awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 leaving call. All right, so getting off to a good start here. Very, very nice. They're going to get 1 bauble out of the graveyard, and I'm then just going to path Lurrus. Okay, Abbott gives them like another card to look at. Fatal Push, they don't have Revolt currently. Oh, well, there's the Revolt. So I think I'll probably just... I could just Ephemerate Uro and gain a bunch of life. I think that seems sort of fine. They are going to have Luris for another prowess trigger with the bauble after this. So pretty good turn for the opponent. But I can vial in Sky App and catch the rebound with the Ephemerate and just sort of blow them out that way. Or I can let this happen and just path Luris, take 2. But no, I think Ephemerating here seems fine. No, they're pretty confusing, those icons next to your name. I think... Oh, the diamond means you're a VIP, I think. Oh, well, I could force this, but I don't really want to force at this point since... Yeah. All right, so I'm going to get hit for 3 from Swift Spear. The opponent's going to get a redraw off of Bauble, and then we just start killing things with Sky App and bouncing things with Teferi and pathing things, so... Still in a pretty good spot. We've got Uro to build towards again, but they do have Cling, so we need to sort of do it quickly. I don't know that that's actually going to happen, unfortunately. Opponent's looking at my top deck. They're on 0 cards with a bunch of stuff in the graveyard. So let's go ahead and put, like, whatever, that down first. Gonna vial in this guy. Gonna get rid of Swift Spear. I'm gonna path this guy. So get rid of Swift Spear. They get back a 1/1. Can't Ephemerate in response because it's just waiting for the rebound. They're gonna draw. They're tapped out though. We're gonna give them back a 1/1, and I think I'm going for the Abbot here, and like I said, just pathing Luris. And I can force their Cling if I feel like doing that. And I might feel like doing that to keep Uro. Blue card? Okay, well that lets me hold up Force and cast Teferi now, so... but I do need to pay a bunch of life. But I want to path right now, so... I think I'm just going to path and like right now, or path on their upkeep, and then hold up Force to protect Uro. Actually, hang on a second. Is that what I want to do? Maybe I just play Teferi, bounce the illusion, see what I draw. I really don't want them to Cling. So I'm going to upkeep Path Luris and hold up Force. They're going to go for Cling. I'm going to force it, and they're going to be left with a 1/1. Well, they can Cling on their turn, right? Okay, Abbott. They've got 4 up for Cling still. But if they tap for Monomorphose, then they do not have 4 up for Cling. I could just counter this Monomorphose. Am I going to be able to escape next turn? I guess not, right? Unless I cast Force. Yeah, if I cast Force on something, I will be able to escape next turn. So why don't I just force this, keep them off their card draw, and then just take the 1 from the illusion? Then we just escape Uro next turn again. I'm not going to block this because they do have the Lava Dart in the graveyard. Opponent with one card in hand, and if the 1 card is Cling, then we get a little bit wrecked, but otherwise we're doing really, really well. Okay, Bauble in hand. That's not a Cling. And successfully navigated recasting of Uro. And I have more time than the opponent, so good stuff. So I assume they're going to look at my card. My top deck, so they do so. Another force. Let's just get Uro on the battlefield. Go green, green, blue, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say done. Opponent knows I have the force. We're going to say no. We're going to say okay. And we're going to put down the second Ether Vial. Attacking would be stupid with Lava Dart in there. All right. So, what can they draw here? They can cling something in their own yard to get a redraw. But next turn we get to Fairy down with Force up. So if they kind of whiff here for a second... I'm blocking with Uro if they attack. So this is, what is this representing? Bolt, and then I just force the bolt? Or I just don't block. What are they going to do? Bolt, bolt, Lava Dart. Just going to block. Maybe they drew Aluris, and now they get to recast the Abbot or something? What a weird attack. I don't know. Oh, now they get to push or unearth. Is that worth forcing? Do I really care? I don't think I care. I think I like Teferi better. Hey, DV. Welcome to the stream. Opponents on 1 card. They do have some stuff in the graveyard. Seems like, okay, they're what a weird time to concede. Like, I mean, they can cling. They have the Lava Dart. I mean, I'm ahead, but I mean, yeah, like, what if I just draw garbage for a little while? I would be getting in with Uro. I was going to play the Teferi, draw another card, but I would have just drawn a land. Okay, so it's red-black. It's a good matchup for us. Path, awesome. Veil, awesome. This whole column here is awesome. Well, except the Gaia's Blessing. I think Ashiok is worth it against these guys. Force, I don't love, even though it was okay in that spot. Watcher is too slow. DV, I stream Soulherder on Thursdays. I streamed last Thursday and this Thursday. The week before that, I think, was on Monday. Thas is slow. Teferi's pretty good in the matchup, but not, like, so necessary. And also just dies very easily to things like Lava Dart. I do like the calls, but I don't know that I need 4 of them. So start by trimming one of those. A lot of my creatures are just really good in the matchup, so maybe just 1 Ashiok. Even though the snakes just die right away, we still want a lot of them. So, again, welcome to anybody who's joining from that raid earlier. I play Merfolk on Monday evenings, and I play Soulherder on Thursday afternoons. Got a lot of experience with both of the decks, but I still punt regularly. So if you're interested in one of or both of those decks, I'd appreciate it if you follow the channel. Always trying to grow the channel, in particular trying to grow the deck. Even though this is like kind of in a sense, kind of a nut Soulherder hand with the snakes to start off the game. They do play all the lava darts. We've got some painful lands. I could play this turn 1, this turn 2. Or just, I mean, it's a good hand in most matchups, but I think it might be a bad hand against these guys. Like, I think I'm trying to draw into, like, removal, Ether Vial, but I think I'm going to keep it, and we'll sort of see how it goes. It's weird, and if we start drawing lands, it's terrible. Ugh. So, as far as thinning the deck goes, it also hits our life total, but I think we kind of have to do it. So go get, like, green, white, and then play blue. Try to ramp with Oracle. As far as Thassa goes, it's a good card. I haven't been so super motivated to get that second Soulherder in over Thassa. It's flexible. It is ultimately what I like about it. It lets us get, like, a more robust Blink engine if that's what we want, or it lets us get, or, like, if we can just turn her on with Devotion and start attacking, like, Thassa can be a nice option if we have to tap things down. Okay, so whatever. Opponent's doing their thing here. I'm going to go get my, I guess, Canopy Vista. Well, we'll see. We'll see how nutty they get, like, on their spells. If they go, like, Crash Through, like Monomorphose into Crash Through, etc. So I'm sort of set to take this 1 point of damage here, I think. And now, I don't know, what are they going to follow up with? Another creature, maybe? So yeah, I think just getting the snake on the battlefield is nice. If there's a turn where they actually sort of go in with the Swift Spear. Like, why would you even cast spells now? Like, you want to save those for your... I guess they're just limited on mana, right? So, wow, we are getting a little bit screwed here, guys. That was a decent draw. They're short on lands, but I think I'm just going to... Actually, you know what? I can save wins for later. I can just gust for now, I think. I can afford to take, like, 1 more point of damage. Or maybe more if they go in with the lava darts, right? But they have to sack lands for that, so... That's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Okay, I can just put this back in their hand, but I think I let it resolve. Well, not in their hand, on top of their... They can choose if it goes top or bottom. Like, they keep casting spells now, then bouncing the Swift Spear seems pretty good. All right, so they're sort of going for it here. Another land, they get to cast more spells. Maybe not. All right, so I mean, it seems like a reasonable spot to gust in now. To prevent 3 damage. Just need to not draw. I don't know. Actually, my draws are getting... They put it on top of their library. I guess they're short on creatures. So Path would be nice. Ephemerate, probably the worst possible draw. So play that. Pass the turn. Just too many lands. I shouldn't have kept the 5-lander. It had the 2 snakes. I've cast the 2 snakes. The 2 snakes have drawn me more lands. All right, that was a good one. So now we can start with the Flooded Strand. Maybe I want to crack this ahead of the draw. So I'll well, I don't really know what I want to fetch here yet, so I think I'll take the draw. Oh, and it was a land. It's disgusting. So I think I want to play this tapped. Ephemerate this dude. Play another land. Crack the lands and just finally wins this Swift Spear. I drew another land. I'm going to protect my life total for the time being. Also, now I can go and get like a Canopy Vista. Man, Uro is just dominating this match. Oh, I have Canopy Vista already, so I'll just get a basic here. All right, opponent. Have fun. Maybe they're going to cling my Uro. But that just puts us both in top decking mode, right? So they didn't have the cling there. So they better have a cling now. Thoughtseize, nice one. Can you guys believe that I'm like not only in this game, but probably in a favorable position right now? They put Lurrus in hand. They have no permanence to get back in the graveyard. I mean, whatever. Ephemerate, small price to... Oh my god. I mean, I'm gonna crack these fetches at some point, so... I've drawn like nothing but lands. It's insane. Oh, I guess that's sort of something. All right, opponent. Holy Lands is right. Like, insane. I think I've drawn like... Let's see. I started with 53 cards in the deck, drawn 13, and I think I've probably hit like 2 non-lands or something. Opponent on the redraw plan as well. If they go for push, they're lava darting my face just for kicks. Like, what? Oh, they sacked. Okay, so they're going for the push here. I mean, yeah, I think I ephemerate, right? Like, are they going to use another push on top of this? Maybe I'll crack this now. Oh, all right. That is a card. That is a card. But we can't catch the rebound, unfortunately. All right. Another Thoughtseize. Take my top deck out of my hand. I would just get Uro back right now if I get to untap. Well, no, they're playing Lurrus, and so Lurrus demands that immediate answer. So no rebound. Ether Vial, of course, because like the deck is continuing to give me the worst possible cards. I'm going to play Witness. Witness for fetch. Get out of here, man. Confusing me. Just gonna get back Winds of Abandon right now, honestly. Actually, they have no permanence in the graveyard. So do I care about Lurrus? Lurrus is kind of a joke for the time being. So yeah, I'm just gonna get back Uro. I'm gonna fight it like this. Not be afraid of whatever the opponent's doing. Let's go, Uro. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, you guys are on that next level. Like, get back the Flooded Strand to thin the deck. I didn't even think of that line. All right, so what are we looking at now? They've got a Lava Dart to kill Eternal Witness. I need one more card to cast Uro from the graveyard, and that should pretty much end the match. One Lava Dart. I'm at 20. They've got 2 cards in hand. No, not only Lava Dart in the graveyard. No clings or anything. Only just passing. So fetch here, not the worst in the world, because I could actually like escape Uro then. All right. Are we getting dismembered? Is that what's happening here? Oh no, they tapped that. So Kolaghan's Command. Oh, they're gonna make me discard so I can cast Uro. Well, I guess they're killing Eternal Witness anyway, so good plays, opponent. Oh, all right, they have the cling now. Fair enough, fair enough. So I am sort of fine top decking in this spot. Like, we've got a nice graveyard. I know that they've got the cling to cast again. Oh, what did they... Okay, they're just clinging again? Clinging to draw a card right now? I mean, it seems weird to cling now rather than like in response to an Eternal Witness, right? Like cling is an instant. Opponent's thinking really hard. They're just selecting cards from their graveyard. So they got rid of Winds of Abandon. Not really even like obviously like the best choice here. They're looking at my top deck and sitting there thinking, which means it's probably something good. You got to read into the opponent's little subtleties. They are going to draw a card off of that bauble. They're cracking their land now. Tap Blood Crypt, thin the deck out. Okay, so let's get rid of all these ridiculous windows. Like, imagine if Magic Online just automatically arranged things in such a way that it was like legible and clickable. Yeah, look at that. I knew the opponent was like shaking in their boots when they saw my top deck. So let's just get it going. Just get it going right now. Eternal Witness will start things off, I think. Gonna get another Eternal Witness. And I'm not even going to cast it yet. I'll cast it and get call. It seems fine. I just don't have mana to actually cast the call now. So, I mean, there's an argument to be made for getting Path, but there's nothing on the board right now. So let's go ahead and get call. Now, if the opponent has like exactly like Inquisition or Thoughtseize, it's pretty good for them. But now I have 4 power on the table. They can cling again. Okay, starting by cracking the canyon. They have darts to get rid of my witnesses. You know, that's a little bit annoying. But we've got this. Maybe I'll just get like Thassa. I think I took Thassa out. Opponent with cards here. I guess they're going to cling right now. They continue to cling. Well, I don't know what's happening here, honestly. So, oh, they're making me discard. Ugh, okay. So they drew a Kolaghan's Command. It's pretty nice. And now they have removal for my creature on board. Ugh, Veil, where were you before? Oh my god. All right. Well, it's not a bad draw. We only have 1 Eternal Witness left in the deck. This is a weird game, man. I am ahead on time somehow. Come on, thought sees me. Inquisition, that'll do. Let's move the stack back over here, accept the prowess trigger, and veil the bejesus out of my opponent. Got him. So that'll draw us witness, and then they go for cling on something, and I violin witness. I mean, okay, drawing a card. Sure. They've got the one lava dart in the graveyard. They currently cannot cling. Lava darting the Ewit. The timing on that sort of makes sense. But now they've got no more lava darts. All right. That'll have Death Touch as well. And so I think I'm just fine blocking this dude. And continuing to draw cards. Maybe a 3-drop. Like that, Jesus. So now I do not block. Now I do not block at 20 life. Opponent empty-handed. Oh my goodness. Soulherder to cap off the league. Just has to make an appearance. Nice-ish. It's sort of unnecessary. That's not really how I wanted to tap, but whatever. Okay, all right. Drawn cards. Seems good. Opponent can't attack this turn. They can kill my Soulherder whenever they feel like it. I think it looks like they're going to start with a cling for something. So this should be another 4-1 league, but I had like such a massive punt against Mill. It's pretty stupid. All right, what are they clinging? They're clinging my Veil. Seems like a good card to cling. Actually, Veil doesn't stop cling. That's an interesting interaction. Okay, well, I get to take the card out of my hand, but I'm going to continue drawing bazillions of cards. And by bazillions, I mean 2. Or more. I just love this deck. It's so stupid, like the things that we do with this deck. Are they going to Kozilek's return us? That would be kind of fun. They've got one card in hand. I think I'm just going to get in like with Soulherder and with Stonehorn, and if they do have some kind of spell, I can always like Deputy. Okay, fair enough. So now we just blink our Sneaky Boy. Continue drawing cards. Nice. The Ether Vials are with us this game. That mono blue Tron match, ridiculous. All right, another Thought Seize. This opponent's not going to like their options here. Nah, Deputy only hits the opponent's stuff. All right, opponent, take that Ether Vial and die on the crackback. I think they're just dead now. Lethal. All right, we did it. And by did it, I mean punted away at the 4-1. But can't complain when you end the league positively, so woohoo! We did it. And the one matchup that we lost for real was Mono Blue Tron, and I did add a little bit of extra Tron protection in my sideboard. I got that second Ceremonious in there for the next league. Just taking out one of the Ashioks. So yeah, I love the flexible sideboard. Main deck feels great. As far as being like convinced on Thassa, again, the thing that convinces me in a way is that call kind of encourages us to have a very toolboxy deck, right? So
so that we have some flexibility from matchup to matchup. Not just some flexibility, but lots of flexibility. So if I'm playing against a matchup where Soulherder seems very fragile, I can go get Thassa and then, get Stonehorn, and now I just have to protect the Stonehorn. Thassa can just loop Stonehorn forever, or just have Thassa around to generate incidental blink value every end step if the opponent can't deal with my creatures before the end step. So I like having the option more than like the fact that like Thassa has all of this text. It's basically like a hard to remove Soulherder that has some additional text. The additional text has been sort of relevant in some fringe situations. But again, just like a hard to remove Soulherder. What else? Any thoughts, guys, about cards or plays? I mean, Gaia's Blessing, I've seen mill like 3 times in the last 2 or 3 days. So I love having the Blessing in the deck. And honestly, it should have won me the match today against mill, but I don't know. I think it was Paintball. He distracted me in the chat. He was like, cast your Skyclave. And I was like, all right, I'm not even going to think about it. Cast the Skyclave. And then I drew the Gaia's Blessing instead of getting it milled. So completely Paintball Demon's fault. So if you have complaints, send them via email to that guy. Yeah, Time Warp is a really cool card. But the format is super fast. And I don't know. I feel like you can get punished just having a Time Warp sitting in your hand. Also, like, people are main decking Cling to Dust. So having like graveyard reliant cards like Time Warp is a little bit weird. I kind of like that the only things in the deck that really, really care about the graveyard are like Eternal Witness and kind of Uro, though Uro gets nice value even if people have our graveyard locked down. So anyhow, I think I'll probably call it there. I still like the single Watcher for tomorrow. It does help us dig deep. Like, imagine we have a call in hand, not much going on the table, and we really need a Force of Negation or something. I would probably call for Watcher just to like dig as deep as possible. Particularly like if we've got like a call and an Ephemerate, because you call for the Watcher, Ephemerate immediately, and just try to get that Force that you need, or whatever else you're trying to find. No, says Ben. I think I particularly just want super hyper efficient Tron hate. Like, I don't want them to be able to cast like a Walking Ballista for X = 1 and get underneath Disdainful Stroke. Like, I think I just want like this little block here is just like the anti-Tron block, and I don't really care that it doesn't get too much cross use. Like, Ceremonious used to be good against artifact decks. It used to be good against Eldrazi decks, but those aren't as prominent anymore, though it does have some cross coverage. Like, we did play against Lantern at the beginning of this league, and this obviously having 2 of those would be good in that matchup. But I'm not really looking for like an extra counterspell to help against control necessarily. Like, I think the 4 forces are very good. We've got the 1 Veil. Ashiok hits control, a Mind Sensor hits control. So I think I don't really need... I mean, I guess Disdainful Stroke is also good against some combo decks. Like, you can counter like an Ad Nauseam with the Disdainful Stroke. But again, for a 4-force deck doesn't necessarily need like a Disdainful Stroke. So the Plotter. The Plotter is an interesting one. But I've got the Ashiok and I've got the Mind Sensor. Against Titan decks, I mean, I feel like actually the Plotter is much better against Tron because their individual lands matter that much more. Against Titan, like, we're going to take away, like, I guess maybe we take away a field, but if they're at that point in the game, they've probably got a Titan down. That's how they found the field. And then are we going to plot to take the field away? It's just kind of weird in that matchup. So Snoffle guy, I don't like your Ryan Soulherder list just because there are some important cards that you really want to draw. Keeping the deck at 60 lets you keep everything a little compact, and I don't want to expand to 80 cards. I don't think like diluting the I'm already diluting the amount of paths, but having a 60 card deck post board lets us bring in removal and then have it be very densely concentrated in the deck. You know, if this was our sideboard with a Urian in it and we had 20 more cards in the deck, now suddenly like there's 20 more cards preventing us from getting to that removal. Additionally, whenever I've played with Urian after the companion nerf, it just like never put it in my hand. I never cast it. The reason you're going to 80 cards is to get access to Urian every game. And if you're not casting Urian in most of your games, then it's not worth the trade-off, right? So I don't think it's 50-50. I don't think it's particularly close to 50-50. I think you can play Urian and you can win games with it, but I think the extra 20 cards are a bit just a drawback on it's a hard drawback, and Urian does not provide any benefit. So that's my explanation. I feel like keeping a compact 60 card deck, like if you want to play Urian, you could play it as a singleton in the deck and then call for Urian. Like Urian is a pretty sick card. Personally, I'm trying to sort of keep the curve below 5, particularly with Ether Vial. But I would run a main deck Urian before I ever went up to 80 cards again. All right. So anyhow, thanks for the suggestions, guys. I think I'm going to stay off the plotters for now. I'm going to try to handle the Titan decks with a mixture of, you know, just random stuff, just like Night of Autumn blowing up Dryads, Paths killing Titans, 1 Ashiok, 1 Mind Sensor, 1 Ether Gust. It's a matchup that I'm sort of fine being bad, but there are enough Tron decks that I feel comfortable just like putting in 2 Ceremonious Rejections, I think. Otherwise, I mean, what would I be trimming to put in like a plotter? I don't even know that plotters are better than the cards I already have in, like Ashiok and Mind Sensor and Ether Gust. So I don't know what you're responding to exactly because there's a little bit of a delay. But yeah, maybe you're responding to what I was saying about how I feel about the Titan matchup. And I just don't think that plotters are like great against Titan decks, right? So if we take their Valakut, they can still get a Vesuva. Is it Vesuva the one that copies? And then they can copy my Valakut if I take the Valakut. And likewise, if I take their field, they can just get Vesuva to copy the field. It just seems so weak. Like Ashiok is the slam dunk against them, but I don't really feel at this point that I want to trim any of the cards in the sideboard to make room for more Ashioks. In fact, I just trimmed an Ashiok today to add a second Ceremonious Rejection. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Magus of the Moon seems extremely weird in a deck like mine, even though we have Ether Vial, because we just have so many non-basics. And, like, I don't want, like, my mana is always, like, you saw this league, my mana is always, like, just towing that edge of, like, usability, right? So it's like, I need to escape Uro, cast Skyclave, and ephemerate Skyclave. So what is that? It's green, green, blue, blue, white, white, white. Yeah. It's like 7 or more specific colors you want in like one turn. So unless you're going like super heavy into the red splash, which they're not because it's sideboard tech, playing Maguses, I mean, I guess the Magus plan is just to hose Tron and Titan decks. But then, you know, you can't cast your spells. So I don't know. It's pretty weird. We can talk about it more in the Discord. But as always, I really, really appreciate all you guys joining me. It was a really fun league. I wish I had finished 4-1. I relearned the lesson, and I'll end the stream on this lesson for you guys. If you are playing against Mill and you have Gaia's Blessing in your deck, Don't counter any of their mill spells. Don't remove any of their mill creatures. You actively want them to mill you as many times as possible, because the more times they mill you, the more likely it is that the Gaia's Blessing actually hits the graveyard. If you're preventing them from milling, then what happens is you're just drawing cards. Like, our deck likes to draw lots of cards, and once you shift the balance of draw versus mill in that direction, now the chances of you actually drawing the Gaia's Blessing are getting significantly higher. And if the Gaia's Blessing is in the deck, there's literally no way that mill can actually beat you until they like surgically extract the Gaia's Blessing, right? So, I mean, the plan is basically let them mill, let them do whatever they want to do as far as mill is concerned. You leave the Mesmeric Orb, you leave the crabs, you let the Glimpse the Unthinkables resolve, you let all their mill stuff resolve and stay on the battlefield. Just don't address it. Just let it do what it wants to do. Then you're going to keep your counter spells, Ceremonious, Force, in hand for stuff like Ensnaring Bridge. Like, that could actually potentially prevent you from winning the game, although, you know, we have Skyclaves and Night of Autumn that can deal with something like an Ensnaring Bridge. But just basically only save counter spells for things that could potentially matter, like Surgical Extraction, right? Because imagine they mill you for 50 cards and you get a Gaia's Blessing trigger. It's going to put those 50 cards back in the deck, but you really want to hang on to that Gaia's Blessing. So they cast the Surgical, and you hopefully force it. If the Gaia's Blessing goes back into the deck and they don't have a second Surgical, you know, the game is probably over. So that's going to be my plan from now on. For those of you joining me late, what I did was I ran out the Skyclave. I blew up their Mesmeric Orb for no reason. I didn't realize I had like 4 cards left in the deck. It went to my turn. I had 4 cards in the deck, one of which was Gaia's Blessing. And out of those 4 cards, I drew the Gaia's Blessing. Thus, leaving myself with 3 cards in the library. The opponent was just going to mill me on the very next turn. Gaia's Blessing wasn't going to do anything. If I had a lot of time and a lot of mana, I could potentially create a loop where Gaia's Blessing puts cards back into the deck, and Eternal Witness with Ephemerate or something keeps getting back Gaia's Blessing. But really, you shouldn't even put yourself in that situation. Like, if I had not blown up the Mesmeric Orb, what would have inevitably happened, it was on the board, was all my lands were tapped, and I only had 4 cards in the deck. So they pass the turn to me. Mesmeric Orb mills my whole deck. And all 4 of those cards go into the graveyard, obviously triggering Gaia's Blessing. Now, even if they have a Surgical Extraction, that means that like the 50+ cards in my graveyard are going right back in my deck. The opponent is empty-handed. They're going to have a really hard time milling out 50 cards with an empty hand. Of course, what you can do is, after you've got the 50 cards back in your library, you can then blow up their Mesmeric Orb, whether it's with Night of Autumn or with Skyclave Apparition, because you do want to establish a clock and actually close the game out while the opponent is like trying to top deck, you know, single cards that can deal with, like, you know, the 6, 7, 8 cards that are probably in your hand, right? Oh yeah, another lesson. I think I had a game against Blue-Red where I should have won, but I scooped with the win in hand. It's been a very strange afternoon as far as losses go. Fortunately, I was able to pull out the Blue-Red matchup after losing that ridiculous game. So the one match that I legit lost today was Blue-Tron, which I would put as probably our number 1 worst matchup. And it was really close today. It was really close. They were looping Walking Ballista with Academy Ruins. And if I had top decked a Ceremonious Rejection, it would have interrupted that loop because I had a call in hand, and I could have gotten my last Eternal Witness after they bottom out the Walking Ballista and get it in the graveyard. I could have so Ceremonious Rejection, when they cast the Ballista, call for the last Eternal Witness, get back an Ephemerate the Eternal Witness, get back Ceremonious Rejection, and then I've got the loop going. And if the opponent insists on continue, or if they want to put the Walking Ballista back on top of the deck, it's just going to get countered every turn. So it puts them in a position where they actually it effectively interrupts the Walking Ballista combo because it would just get countered. They would need to draw something non-colorless off the top of the deck to have a chance, because with them virtually empty-handed, I'm pretty sure they had one card in hand that was doing nothing. So virtually empty-handed, they would basically need to draw until they could double spell. But if they do that, then I'm not spending my Ceremonious, and I can use my Ephemerate to get back like a Force. And at that point, I just keep building up counter spells for whatever they could do. Yeah, Sespen, the punt against Mill was just really stupid, and the punt against Blue-Red was also pretty stupid. Particularly because I was looking at the board, trying to ignore chat, and I was just like, okay, 15 damage, there's a bolt, I've got a Force. If I block, I can Ephemerate and gain 3 life, but if I gain 3 life, I'm taking 6 because they have Trample. And then somewhere in that forest of calculations, I overcomplicated things, and I Ephemerated Uro trying to draw a path for one of their creatures, because I would have had one more white mana open. But as it stood, I could have just forced the bolt that was on the stack. I would have been at 12. I would have blocked 6 of the 9 damage coming from one Trampler, take 3 and then 6. After going down to 12 from the bolt, I take 9 in combat. I would lose Uro, and I would be at 3 life. They were empty-handed. They used all their lava darts in the graveyard to pump all their creatures, and I would have untapped with definitely enough mana to cast out a ton of spells, and probably to escape Uro again and gain life. So it was a punt, but I still got there. So Snuffle, I'm not exactly sure what you're asking, but anyhow, I think you guys get the picture. Very, very fun deck. Obviously, extremely skill dependent, and if you don't bring your A game, it's very easy to lose a game that's otherwise very, very much winnable. I think I fought the best that I could against Bluetron. Like, I don't think I punted at all. But just like a recurring Walking Ballista every turn, mowing down your board and throwing like 7 damage in your face every turn is pretty wild. I did my best to sort of draw out of it, but didn't quite get there. So it's fine losing. It's fine losing a match to a bad matchup every now and then. But could have been a 4-1 league. So if you guys are interested in playing Soulherder, this is virtually the second 4-1 league in a row. The last one was last Thursday on stream. It's very strong. It's very versatile. It's got the life gain with Uro if you're playing against aggressive decks. Also, these super low to the ground decks like Skyclave just like really, really destroys them. Just hitting a Death Shadow or a Scourge, or a Swift Spear or a Soulscar Mage or even like Luris with a Skyclave Apparition and then ephemerating the Skyclave. It's really, really good. Like this card has helped the deck a ton. Yeah, I might have had enough to just win with damage. I can't remember. But the point was that just analyzing the dynamics on the board, I could have gotten as many turns as I needed, basically. But we didn't get the Ceremonious Rejection, and that's really what mattered. But we'll have 2 for the next league. So hopefully if we get paired against Tron. Now, Tron spoiled my last league as well. It was Green Tron then, and it's Blue Tron today. And both matches were super close against Green Tron last week. I lost because I punted on a very narrow decision at the end of game 3. I had 1 Eternal Witness left in the deck, but we had discussed maybe getting Uro at one point in the game. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to get Uro. But if I had gotten Eternal Witness, that could have gotten back Ceremonious and Ephemerate and create the loop, which would have locked the opponent out of the game. So that one's on me. But today against Blutron, I think we actually did better than we should hope to, given the sort of setup that we have now. All right, I'm going to stop talking. Once again, thanks very much for joining me, guys. It means a lot. And if you like the channel, please consider subscribing. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link that with your Twitch account and give me a free subscription, which is pretty cool. Free to you, hooks me up with a few bucks each month. And yeah, I guess what I'll do, since there's a few of you guys around, I'm going to check out who else is online right now in the Card Hoarder network. And I'll try to send you guys over there just to try to support another streamer. Okay. Let's see. I think we'll go to Squat Chief. He's a pretty cool guy. So let me get back to chat here, and let's see. We are going to raid Squat Chief. All right, guys, enjoy. Tell them Merfolk Joe says hello, and I'll be back on Monday with Merfolk. Until then, have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.